Okay, I think I'm ready. No, I'm not ready. I don't care. We're gonna go with it. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another night here in the tavern tonight. Tonight we got, well, more of our wonderful podcast here. So tonight we're granted an audience by the great Mean Jerry, who is our Pokemaniac, our Pokemaster, the nerd, the know-it-all. He is a master of Pokemon. Like, I do not know a single person who has more Pokemon knowledge than this gentleman here. But I could be wrong. So tonight, he is generous enough to donate some shinies. He's generous enough to be here and grace us with his presence as we go through the main Pokemon games. We're not going to go through like other games such as like the Rescue Dungeons or Coliseum or Hey You Pikachu or Pokemon Snap or anything like that. Our key goal today is just the main games, which is red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, etc., etc. Pokemon Shiny giveaway. So every hour we will be hosting a giveaway by if you type in a keyword in chat, which is !raffle. If you type !raffle, you will be entered into the giveaway. See, I think that's all that I've got, so I think we're just kind of just waiting for everybody else here. Let's see where Trouse is at. Let's see what Trouse is doing.
I'm here.
Oh, Jerry is here.
What's up?
Hi. How's it going?
It goes.
It goes. Okay. Talk a little bit for me so I'm adjusting microphone volume as needed.
Hello.
All right.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh,
We're doing a microphone check.
There's good old Trouse.
Yeah.
Trouse, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Just having a chill day. Excited for our Pokemon talk right now.
Pokemon talk, yeah. So I literally just got home. I've not gotten out of my work clothes yet, so we're gonna go with it. No, I freaking split. Okay, so we were extremely busy today, like balls to the wall busy. Our lead tech went home early. She was not feeling good, so she went home like half an hour after she got there. So that left us with our 3 newest people, which including me. And literally everybody and their freaking grandmother was in there wanting to get their damn pain medication, and I'm just like, you fucking serious? I wound up tripping and fucking split my hands, and I don't know how I split them so bad. But the split went all the way down to the back of the knee. I'm like, how in the fuck is that even possible?
Damn, dude. Having a rough one today, huh?
And so I'm trying to hustle and get my ass out of there. No, you need to do the mail outs real quick. You got to get those mail outs done. You got to get this done. Did you type in this prescription? I'm like, I've got plans. I have to go buy a new pair of pants, which I can't fucking afford. And I have to hustle my ass back, make a picture, hurry up, and get on call with somebody. So, yeah,
At least you made it here.
Barely. I just barely made it.
What's up for everybody in chat? We have Bree, we have Draco, we have Crimson, we have everybody in here. I hope everyone's doing well.
Everybody? Oh my goodness. Was everybody on your side? What the hell? There's no love for the Panda?
Hold on, I think I still have this my multi-shot. Let's see.
I'm just kidding.
No, that's Tuba's still. Fuck.
Uh-oh. You see, well...
That was the last person I was co-oping with on channel, on stream.
It's all good. I don't care.
Bam, there we go.
So anyways, Jerry, welcome on in. We're excited to have you. As I was saying, our Poke Nerd, our Pokemaniac, our Pokemon Master. I don't know anybody who has more knowledge about Pokemon than this dude right here.
I just Google a lot.
I mean, that's fair. So,
Power of Google.
Power of Google.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
It's like the power of Google. You can do anything. You can even evaluate software. I got dry hands. Now 3 laters, I ain't got no fingers.
No fingies.
But anyways,
I missed you too.
But anyways, tonight we are going to be talking about the main Pokemon series. We're not going to be talking about the games like Coliseum, Hey You Pikachu, like Pokemon Snap or the Rescue Dungeons. Tonight's focus is all about the main games: Red, Blue, Yellow, Crystal, Silver, Gold, all of that golden jazz. So,
all right.
So
where do you want to start?
Well, we are gonna start. Let's talk about the start, the very, very beginning. How did we wind up getting into Pokemon?
I had a Game Boy, and the cartridges had a different color than the normal gray cartridges.
And so that's just how you started. You just ooh, this looks cool.
What is that? Well, what is this that they've broken from the mold, literally, and gone for this color theme thing? And actually, to take it one step further back, a buddy of mine actually got Pokemon before I did, and it was right before the anime kind of came out, so it was on the verge of blowing up. Nobody really knew what it was yet because I'm old. And so he had this game, and it was like Pokemon Red. He's like, you need to check this out. It's awesome. And he says, don't save over my save file, though. I've gotten pretty far. And he had beaten Brock.
Oh wow, that's pretty far.
But at that time, nobody knew how far that actually was, because it was your first time playing it. You didn't know.
Yeah.
The first time you've
true.
encountered this thing. So I proceeded to play this game at his house and spent the night. We were hanging out. And once he fell asleep, I proceeded to play it some more. I got further than he did. I did save my game. And then proceeded to drain every single AAA battery in his house.
Oh God.
Even the remote controls.
Even the remote controls. His mom was ticked
Oh, fuck.
that the remotes weren't working the next day. And I'd already gone home before she figured this out. So like,
She
but
don't need to worry.
to this day, we still talk about that. My buddy Chris and I. Yes, AAA. That was the Game Boy Pocket era. We had upgraded from those huge, bulky 4 AA Game Boys to the Game Boy Pockets, which were much smaller in size, but still had the same screen. But yeah, no. So my first experience with Pokemon was basically an all-nighter experiencing this amazing new game.
Man.
And I was hooked from there. Like, I was it.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Trows? Like, how did you wind up getting into this fantastic series?
It's surprising. I know we're going to talk about the spin-offs, but I did technically get into it through Pokemon Stadium 1 for the first time.
Oh.
I won't get too
Okay.
in-depth about the game itself, but that's where I started. I remember seeing the Pokemon in their full glory. I'm like, oh my god, this is so awesome, and then I later played Gold. I never got to play Red and Blue and Yellow because I didn't own a Game Boy. I had a friend who had Gold, so I was able to play it with him. And then I got my own Fire Red and Emerald later on, but yeah, that's where I started Pokemon Stadium.
Started at
Nice.
Pokemon Stadium. So I remember, like, I used to live in the countryside. Like, I was one of those people who lived in a trailer in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Like, it was a town so small that the guy who owned the grocery store also ran the post office, who was also the sheriff of the town, who also sold like the fishing licenses, and the guy did it all. Like, I wish I were joking, but this guy did it all. And so it was always the case, like, my uncle, he moved out to New Mexico, like, to a bigger city, and like he was going to college out there, got a job, and then he started telling me about Pokemon, because he was always the one who would find these games and would share like all the details about it. Like, we still talk all the time about like what games we've played, what games look fun. And when he started getting into it, he's like, yeah, I caught this thing called like a Caterpie, and it's like a worm that turns into a cocoon. And he was telling me about how he was going through like this forest, and the only thing that I could imagine was like, when I've played all the Game Boy games as I did when I was a kid, I was thinking that this is gonna be like some kind of stupid side scroller.
Damn.
I'm like, this does not sound fun at all. And he finally was able to come visit Colorado, and he brought me a copy of it. So I wound up with Red. He had Blue, and we would always like have the different cartridges, so we could catch them. So like, he had Gold, I had Silver, and so on.
Yeah.
And it was a case of like, when I played it, I had no idea what I was fucking doing. I chose Charmander as my starter Pokemon, and I wound up getting all the way. I like defeated Koga with nothing but a fucking Charizard. Like, I went through all the gens, got all the way to Koga. I'm like, how am I supposed to serve? I don't know. I don't ever remember being shown how to catch a Pokemon. I don't ever remember being shown how to like use a Pokemon to like do stuff. So I got stuck, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to progress? So, like, I finally told my uncle, and he's like, "You've got to like catch other Pokemon, and you've got to like swap them out." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I never fully caught on how to swap them out, so it was always Charizard was still in the lead, and I would have to swap the Pokemon out in battle, which did not fucking work.
See, now you were just ahead of your time because you can go on YouTube now and there are like solo challenges that everyone does. Or
Oh,
just beat an old game with just one Pokemon. And usually it's just something insane.
I'm still wondering how the hell I beat Misty with just a Charizard. Like, I think I overleveled it to the point to where it wouldn't listen to me, and I just had to wish on luck.
Oh man.
But I think that's like one of my favorite memories about Pokemon. It was a good game. It's a good series. But I don't think that Red and Blue is my favorite gen. I'm probably gonna get blasphemed a lot on that, but
you don't have to be a Gen 1er. Usually being a Gen 1er is considered a bad thing.
No, because I want to say that my favorite gen, my least favorite gen, gosh, I think would have to be the Pearl Platinum or Pearl Diamond.
I'm surprised.
Gen 4.
I think Diamond and Pearl was just, I could not latch onto it. I could not play it. I could not do it.
Usually that's people's favorites or their top 3 or something, huh?
I couldn't do it. Now, the one that I like is the one that everybody fucking hated, which was Black and White.
And people are coming around to that now. I mean, I will say I am on that bandwagon of Boo Gen 5, but I don't know if we're just going to go numerically through them. I can get more into that when we get to 5, or what the pattern of this is.
Yeah, we'll start going into more detail about each gen, but right now we're just kind of...
Sure.
The best and worst for now.
Yes. Best for me would be 6. Closely followed by 1.
X and
Worst? Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I mean, those mechas.
That's when I started getting into breeding. And
that's when he started becoming his Pokemaniac.
Yup. Spend hours riding a bicycle back and forth. Least favorite gen? Honestly, there's only one generation I have not completed. And I wouldn't say it's my least favorite, I just kind of fell out of love. And as we go on, I'll explain that more. But probably Gen 7? Oh. They're all good in their own right. Gen 5 and Gen 7 I played the least of.
What was Gen 7 again?
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon, that's right.
The Alola region.
I couldn't get into Sun and Moon. I think I kind of lost it when... I think I kind of fell out of that with Team Skull. I think it was they were the bad guys.
Yeah.
When they come up to you and they're like, "What, you think you want to pick a bone when I'm rock hard as a bone dog?" And I'm just like, I can't.
All the more reason to hit them that much harder.
Like when they're talking about how they're hard as bone, I'm like, this is a kid's game.
Listen, every other video game I've played with crafting materials, bone is like bottom tier. Bone's like before wood. Being hard as bone is not a brag.
What about you, Search Frows?
Favorite and worst.
And worst.
A lot of you know my favorite's Gen 3. I gotta love Gen 3. It's the one I really engrossed myself in. and played. I had a file that was like 600 something hours or something like that. That I just didn't want to let go because I kept doing the Battle Frontier and getting more mons and just keep doing the Elite Four, just playing it over and over. All the starters are badass. That's why I love it too. There's not one I don't like. And my The worst gen for me, I don't know, I can't say because I played a little bit of 4. I haven't played any of 5. I played 6 with Omega Ruby, but I didn't play X and Y. I didn't play Gen 7, and I played Gen 8. But out of the mons to come out of those gens that I didn't play, I think Gen 7 I didn't like the most. But out of the ones I had played, Gen 8's the most boring for me.
Sword and
So-
Shield.
Yeah, I was kind of bored with that game.
There are some stretches in it. Like, they give you the freedom to wander, but at the same time, that means there's a lack of guidance.
Yeah. But, like, if I were, like, going based on the games I played, Gen 8 would be my least favorite, even though I did have my fun with it. There was really cool Pokemon they released on that gen. I really
Yeah.
like Dragapult is sick. Like, Ghost Dragon, like, hell yeah. But other than that, yeah, it was just boring experience for me.
And I think I really burned myself out of Gen 8. Like, I did a lot. Like, I was surprised at how much of Gen 8 I played. Like, I played through it regularly. I played through a Japanese version, like, or Chinese or whatever kind of knees that I was, playing as. And then I wound up doing a Wonder Trade Nuzlocke. And that was just gross. And then Jerry and I had a playthrough of it. So I went through the game 4 times. Like, and that playthrough between Jerry and I, like, it would have been a nice fair match until he caught Trogdor, the Burninator.
Oh shoot, who was the Burninator? I'm blanking now.
Noivern.
Oh!
You had Noivern.
Yeah, it was my Noivern, that's right. Because Gen 6.
And you named him Trogdor. And he fucking destroyed my team every time he came out.
Yay, Darkins!
Yeah, I played that series so many times, and I burnt myself out of Sword and Shield.
I played it only twice.
I feel weird then.
How many times did you play it then?
I have my main game on Shield, so that's 1. I have my main game on Sword. I have a second run I did on Shield, a second run I did on Sword, a run on Shield that's Japanese. I did the one with Winter. I have a run that's somewhere in the middle that was me trying to beat the game with just a Pikachu. And I may have one more save somewhere just to have extra team members or max raids.
For meme value.
So, 8 to 9.
Goodness.
But I mean, that's me going hard. Like, that's how I am with Pokemon. Like, Gen 1, taking it all the way back to Gen 1. I went hard on Gen 1. I loved Gen 1. When I was in middle school, people would ask me about stuff about the game because I knew more than the guidebooks did. Like, I went hard on Gen 1. And my all-time favorite Pokemon, Articuno, is from Gen 1. It is the first Pokemon that I ever cloned. There was a trading glitch you could do with the original games. I don't know if you guys knew about this or not, but when Gen 1 was a big thing and people were getting their link cables for the first time, it was possible that when you traded something, if you had something you wanted to give to someone and still keep, you could initiate the trade, and during the animation screen that shows the Pokemon traveling between the Game Boys, you could shut off your Game Boy right before the save completed, right before it's saved. And then you'd start yours up and you'd still have the Pokemon you were going to trade, and you let the other person finish theirs and save the trade so that you both had the Pokemon that you traded them. And then whatever Pokemon they traded you is just gone to oblivion.
What we call Poke Purgatory.
But Articuno was the first Pokemon I duped like that because there needed to be more of them in the world. Yeah.
Did you guys ever hear that story about the one kid? The kid, like, we're starting in Gen 1 talk here, it seems like. But there's a kid who I guess wound up finding a Lapras or something like that, and they read the Pokedex entry saying that, like, Lapras was, like, near to extinction.
Yes.
And so he spent, like, hours, days, and even weeks, like, breeding Lapras and hatching them and then just releasing them. And I guess eventually, like, I guess Nintendo, like, found out about this, and later on, they wound up changing the Pokedex entry to where there's, like, an overabundance of Lapras now in the world.
They said something to the effect of, thanks to the work of a few dedicated folks, the numbers are returning.
Did it say something like that?
Yeah. And it's in, like, Gen 6, 7, or 8 that's the Pokédex entry.
Like, how would you feel about, like, just, like, being that person to change something in the world like that? Your dedication to breeding a digital creature would change the aspect of what the Pokedex entry says.
Yeah. Pokemon is cool.
Pokemon is indeed cool. My favorite Pokemon from Gen 1, I've got to say, is gonna be Kangaskhan.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I will always have a Kangaskhan on, like, my dream team. Will always have a Kangaskhan.
Sick.
Okay.
Because, like, Kangaskhan is beast. Like, if you set them up, like, they can have, like, all those elemental punches, and then have, like, a mega punch, or, like, if you feel like you're lucky, have a dizzy punch, it can fuck a team up.
Let me tell you about Gen 6.
We're not talking about Gen 6, though.
We'll come back around to Kangaskhan when we get to Gen 6, though.
Okay, we'll come back to Kangaskhan. But I'm just saying, like, Kangaskhan is probably, like, one of the best, like, one of my favorite Pokemon, and I think one of the best, personally. Since we're talking like favorites in Gen 1. but like worst Pokemon, what would your best Pokemon be, Trows? What would your best?
Look at my shirt on stream, fucking Gengar.
Oh, of course.
Gengar is my boy.
Let me tell you about Gen 6 of that one, too.
Dude, he's just such a cool fucking... He's amongst the only ghost lion in Gen 1. So he's very special.
He's good stuff.
Yeah. And he's got some cool things about him.
Aren't they, like, the only ghost type in Gen 1?
They are. And Gen 2, they just bring one ghost type.
They added Mischievous.
Yeah, but yeah, they were the only ghost type in the game, which was awesome. And he just looks sick. And he's powerful as fuck. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Bree, so many people sleep on Butterfree, but that damn thing saved my ass and my neck of Soul Link. I know. You ever watch their Soul Link? You're just like, and the Pokemon anime storyteller, and the Pokemon anime lied to me about them being good against psychic types. Oh yeah, because Ash like had a fucking Haunter. Well, Haunter didn't do shit. He just like played with Sabrina.
Okay, so there was a few things going against him there. That's the first part. So in Gen 1, there were not a lot of powerful ghost moves. The arguably strongest ghost move in the game was Nightshade, which didn't actually do calculated damage. It did your level in HP damage, consistent, which means it couldn't be super effective. Yeah. Lick was the other one. Lick was horribly weak. Lick did have a chance to paralyze,
which
and stab is something.
And Lick
So,
always seemed to have like a 100 fucking percent effect on me. Like, oh, it's paralyzed now. Shit.
hey, it's not our fault. You're just extra sensitive to getting licked.
I guess. I guess that might be a fetish for me.
Hunter, use lick. Do it again.
Do it again.
Oh,
Oh man.
But yeah, so I mean, and dragon type suffered the same thing. That there's just a huge limit of useful moves for the type. So even though the type was supposed to be good, it just couldn't be.
Yeah.
Bug was the same way. Bug was supposed to be super effective against Psychic, and Psychics dominated Gen 1. Just absolutely wrecked it. So much so that they made a type in Gen 2 just to counter them. That is why Dark is completely immune to psychic attacks. Because the Pokemon people were like, fuck you, stop using psychics all the time.
and thusly they brought my favorite type in, which is the dark type.
Oh, and Bree, you made a comment about people sleeping on Butterfree. You wanna know who didn't sleep on Butterfree? Gen 1 people. Because unless you picked Squirtle or Bulbasaur to start your adventure, Butterfree was how you beat Brock in Gen 1.
Nah.
Everybody with a Charmander had a Butterfree. Unless they just burn the rock straight through the not very effective.
Okay, in my defense, I never have ran a fucking Butterfree in Gen 1. Especially especially in the times when I have like gone Charmander, I will always just go and get a Nidoran or a Mankey.
Oh. And depending on your version, Mankey's version exclusive.
Yep.
And if you're not playing yellow, you don't get double kick till like level 40.
Ooh.
The hardcore Gen 1 thing. The only thing you can walk into Brock's house with that can do anything to him is a level 10 Butterfree with Confusion. Because it learned it right at level 10. Like, just immediately, it's like, boom, now you're good for the rest of the game.
And I wonder why they
And
brought in dark
eventually,
types.
you'll trade it out. Because once you get to higher levels, there's things that are just going to gain more stats at higher levels. But it's... And I mean, it's just like they did in the anime. It gets you through the beginning, and then it goes away after that.
All right. So
Did Nidorino learn double kick? I think so.
In yellow, yes. And in red and blue, they don't get it until like level late 30s or early 40s. Unevolved, as in Nidoran, male or female, until the 40s.
So I don't know
It's
why the hell
sadly
I always
ridiculous.
went for one. Maybe it's just because I liked Nidoran.
They got some useful moves and some status things, and you could use Poison Sting even though it wouldn't be very effective. Once you get the poison on them, it's a time game. So,
Sorry, there was dogs.
all good.
By the way, the
And
dogs
actually-
are good.
I'm slightly up on some of my Gen 1 knowledge recently too, because I have been playing through green version.
Through green version.
Green.
I wish we would have had green versions.
Pokemon Green for the original Game Boy. Japanese exclusive. And yes, I am playing a Japanese cartridge of it.
Nice.
Yeah, because you bought like a type of Game Boy that can play anything, right?
Oh, Game Boys weren't region locked.
Didn't you buy something where you could like play cartridges?
I bought recently a connector for my GameCube so that I could HDMI out my GameCube. And back in the day, I bought a Game Boy player, so I can do Game Boy games through my GameCube.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Very nice. All right, did we talk about your favorite mon yet? Jerry?
Oh yeah, we started with me. It's Articuno.
It's Articuno.
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought that was a
Number
separate story.
144, the best ice flying in the game, because Delibird can suck it.
I mean, like Delibird, yeah, like Delibird's like, oh, I'm gonna throw a present at you. Hope I don't heal your ass.
But see,
What about what?
one of the other things that's weird about my experience with Gen 1 is because I attached myself to Articuno so much, Lance was not even something to worry about. So, like, I get to all the dragon flying types at the end of the game that are supposed to be super hard. I'm just like, Ice Beam, Ice Beam, Ice Beam, Ice Beam, and I'm done. And everyone always talks about how difficult they are. And, and I've actually been doing the things that from time to time where I watch some of these, single Pokemon challenge through the old games. And I realize how difficult and versatile Lance really is, but I never experienced that. I'm just like, no,
I'm just gonna use my
you're
favorite
just
Pokemon.
Speed bump in front of the champion.
Easy claps.
It's like, I'm just gonna use my favorite Pokemon and just kind of casually play. Oh, you're dead? Uh-oh.
I had more issue with Lorelei because ice.
Yeah.
I always saw ice as more of a threat, and then anything that I'd want to bring in for the ice, wasn't necessarily well typed for the water part. And since half her stuff is ice water,
Right.
Lorelei was more difficult than Lance for me.
Yeah.
Oh man, talking about
What
the Elite
about-
Four.
Man, what about ranking the starters themselves? We can talk about that.
Like talking about like all the starters or just for Gen 1?
Just for Gen 1, yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I'm gonna ask about Bulbasaur at the top.
Interesting call.
he is right in the background of my stream right now. I have a little plushie of him right here.
But my ranking would have to be Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander.
Okay.
Squirtle, Charmander. That's interesting.
Yup.
You like
what
the
about
line
you,
better?
Travis?
Well, mine goes Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, exact opposite.
No love for
And-
Bulbasaur.
And you know what? Like, it depends on what we're ranking, because at this point, I've heard so many arguments so many different ways that I can't dispute. But my gut, my heart goes the same way Trouser did: Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur.
Wow.
because that fire was so essentially useful for most of the game, and there wasn't a lot of fire options. Squirtle was useful for the surfing. Bulbasaur wasn't useful.
I mean, yeah, you gotta think of you gotta think about the versatility. Like, Charmander has such a horrible start, but if you
absolutely.
can get past the first two gyms, you're gonna fly.
You just start raffle stomping. It's a thing.
It's
Yeah,
just
the
the
thing is-
first two gyms is just so fucking stupid for a fire starter.
Yes. And
Yeah.
actually, because of the way those first two gyms go, I always used to argue that choosing Bulbasaur was playing the game on easy, because you had easy wins with the first two gyms. Choosing Squirtle was playing on medium because you had an easy win with the first gym. And choosing Charmander was playing on hard because you had a difficult time with both gyms.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mind you that all three of them still rank very, very closely next to each other, despite them being ranked lower than one another. Like,
Absolutely.
Like Charmander's a 10, Squirtle's like a 9.5, and Bulbasaur's a 9. That's how close they are.
Now, I've also heard rankings in the way of speedrunning. All speedrunners start with Squirtle. It is a speedrun fact that you pick Squirtle if you're doing a speedrun.
He just has better moves for the situations or what.
You get the surf. you don't have to worry about acquiring a surfer later.
Mm.
Yeah, because you always like, if I know most speedruns, a Squirtle and a Nidoran male are the like 2 essential Pokemon that you need.
Oh,
And
because Nidoking becomes the only thing you use for like the last 30% of the game.
Yeah, because and it has to be like a perfect, like, what was it? Like, doesn't it have to be like a perfect stated Nidoran male?
No, it's got to be high level. Once you get to the point that you can learn Fissure, Nidoking can learn Fissure, and the way Fissure works is you have to be a higher level than the opposing Pokemon, and you have to be faster than the opposing Pokemon, and then you have a 30% chance of hitting. So if you run the Nidoking and just absolutely roll the game with Nidoking and level him, he'll be completely over-leveled, completely oversped. And there is a glitch in the way that it's coded that if you use an X accuracy on a Pokemon, what it does to increase your accuracy is not bump it a stage. What it does is it shuts off the accuracy check and you 100% hit.
No
so
shit.
Fissure becomes an Oko guaranteed as long as you're high enough level. So Nidoking literally just goes through the Elite Four, one-hitting everything.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's a true treat to watch a speed run.
Damn.
And then there are cases where you can speed run and beat the game without picking a Pokemon, I think. Isn't there? And they're like a 2-3 minute glitch.
Yes, there's a memory edit version that you can basically wrong warp to the room that you register your team, and therefore it counts as a win.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful. It's a treat to watch these speed runs.
I bet. I've seen only Gen 3 speedruns because that's my favorite.
Those are good too, especially since by Gen 3 they did a lot to improve the move pool and sort of diversify the gyms and stuff. Like, there's a flying gym, and by God, is it damned hard.
Also, they gave natures and abilities.
Yeah. Levitate, just stopping a lot of the earthquaking of the poison types of your boy Gengar.
Yeah. But
Damn
before we talk about Gen
levitators.
3, we should probably talk about Gen 2.
Okay, so I'll start this off by saying that Gen 2 introduced to the world my boy, my absolute 100% favorite Pokemon in existence, and that is Totodile.
He's right there on the wall of the podcast art. Look at
He's
it.
right there on the wall. He's holding a spirit box because he just got a response from the ghost that says death, and he's just happy as a clam that he got a response.
Well, I mean, Gengar's right there. I hope he heard it.
He's like...
But yes, yeah, Totodile is my boy. He is like my absolute 100% favorite Pokemon in the world.
That's awesome.
All right.
He's a great fucking design for sure, and very charming.
It's like if I wish the Pokemon were real, I would want a Totodile. Like, I'd want a Totodile.
So, Gen 2 was one of the falling out of love gens for me.
Oh.
So what happened was, I was a kid. I had, fleeting whims and, passive whatever. And I just went hard into Gen 1, right? And then Gen 2 came out, and I was just like, oh, well, I can't get this cartridge right now, Money's an issue, I'm still a kid, I don't have a job. Can wait for a birthday or something. But by that time, I was like, I don't need to play the game again. Like, all the stuff I like is right here. And so as a kid, like, I didn't play Gen 2.
Very interesting.
And I may have completed an actual gold, silver, crystal playthrough once, but I didn't truly play Gen 2 until it came back around in Gen 4, which we'll get into later.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, Gen 2 I really kind of missed the boat on. Which is sad because Gen 2 has Flaffy.
Is that your favorite?
Flaffy and Ampharos, like Mareep, Flaffy, and Ampharos, like the electric sheep boys. Oh my gosh, so good.
Pretty good, yeah. Ampharos is sick.
I still remember, like, my uncle, as I said, like, my uncle was always the one that introduced me to these games. When he saw, like, he worked a security job, right? So he worked from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m., like, 5 days a week. And so he would go to Walmart every fucking night that he got off just to go wander around, look at the toys, look at the games. He did that. That was his thing. And he fucking, one night he went in and saw Pokemon Gold and Silver. And he picked up Gold, went home, woke my ass up at 4 in the fucking morning. He's like, we're going to Walmart, get dressed. And so here I am, like, not even like 15 fucking years old or however long that it came out, going into Walmart to pick up a fucking copy of Pokemon Silver. And the first Pokemon that I came across, the first wild one, I think, was Ladybug, actually. It was Ladybug or Zigzagoon? I think Zigzagoon.
No, that was 3.
So it was Sentret.
Sentret, yeah.
Yeah. It was Sentret or Ladybug. I'm like,
Sentret,
look at
Ladybug,
it.
and Hoot Hoot.
I'm just like, look at it. Even though I was still like half dead to the world because I got woke up at 4 in the morning. But I loved.
See, oh, go ahead.
I loved Gen 2. Like, I think one of my favorite aspects of Gen 2 was when you finished Johto, you could go to Kanto and keep playing the game. You weren't.
Why is that only in Gen 2?
Like, they introduced this great idea to be like, well, you're done with the game, but there's more you can go do. Go do it.
And they brought it back in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but didn't keep it as a thing.
Like, they had a great idea behind this.
They did.
I always thought, like, there could be, like, this Pokemon game where you could choose which region you want to start out in. Kind of like how Ash is. And every time that you finish the zone or region, you can pick another region. Your Pokemon might, like, de-level a little bit just to kind of make sure that you're not just stuck at 100 just plowing through all these worlds. It's kind of like how they do with Ash. Like, Pikachu becomes like a fucking beast at the end of every season, but then when he goes to a new island, he's shitty.
Why are you in my head? How are you in my head?
I don't know. I don't know.
And my memories with Gold are just with my buddy who owned it. I remember just him trading a lot of Pokemon Stadium stuff back and forth with it. Being able to fly with Charizard around the map was seeing it. I remember being able to see that. I was like, whoa. That's literally my only memory with it, because I never got to play it.
So yeah, hi Abit, hi Horatio, hi Bree. How are you guys? Welcome on in. I've been watching you guys in your comments, no worries.
Yeah, I've got a multi-stream up so I can watch both chats at the same time.
There you go.
I've been watching both chats too. So
yeah, like Gen 2 for me, it was kind of like one of those points where I didn't really explore too much other than in Stadium 2, and whenever my friend would play Gold, I'd watch him. But I do have a favorite mon. It's Kingdra, fucking badass.
Kingdra.
Water Dragon. I think they really did great with that
And you know what? There has not been a lot of water dragons.
Yeah, he's pretty unique.
In the series in general, there's not a lot of water dragons. And they are absolutely a fantastic type combination.
Yeah, it's. I think I used it in my dragon team for Gen 6 when I was doing that competitive shit. But yeah, he's definitely my favorite. Like, I liked how they introduced some baby forms too, but they added that third evolution to Seadra, and I was like, fuck yeah.
See, and I loved Seadra, and when I thought about it as I'm going through my copy of Green, once I get to the point I can get a Horsey, that's my water type. Like, it just is. Because really Seadra is awesome, and Kingdra is a great enhancement on that.
Yeah, and also Crobat was a close second. Crobat. I always confuse it for Gen 3, but it's actually Gen 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was a close second because, oh my god, it's such a redeeming evolution.
I know, like, I know. poor fucking Golbat and Zubat just got the shit end of the stick.
Yep. But yeah, it's really close, but I have to give the edge because I love dragons more, you know.
Yeah.
Dragons are my thing.
Now, was Scissor introduced in Gen 2?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be Storyteller's boy right there as well.
Yep.
Well, I thought it was T-Tar, or is that the close second for him?
Oh, it's Scissor.
No, it's Scyther and Scissor.
If I know anything about Storyteller, it's Scissor. Also, I can scroll back up the chat. He's already mentioned it.
Yeah, that was during our talk in Gen 1. He's just like inhales Scissor.
Oh man, but yeah, Gen 2 wasn't too bad though. I think Gen 2 lands in the middle of my favorites and lists.
Oh, he did say Tyranitar is number 2 though.
Okay, there you go.
Scissor Scyther is number 1 with a bullet. Honchkro's number 3 for him. Oh, girl.
With a bullet punch.
Oh man.
Do we know Bree's favorite Pokemon?
I don't know. I don't
think she's ever said.
Even though she's got a literal fucking Sylveon ass emotes.
Yeah, it's probably Sylveon. I mean, I could see that. It's like extra pink. I don't know what other evolution would be pink and awesome. So it's gotta be Sylveon.
Oh god damn it.
Breeze over here going, this motherfucker right here.
Back to his old shit again.
Now I remember why he hasn't been around for a few months.
Herschel's favorite is Miltank. I hate Miltank.
Oh.
Although,
is that the least favorite?
Although I don't know. So, like, when I did we're gonna step away for a hot second from Gens. When I played Pokemon Sweet Tooth, I'm not gonna fucking lie. Like, they tried making Mega Evolutions to, like, a whole new level. Right? So, like, their Mega Evolutions, they were gonna be, like, bigger, better, like, more powerful. And I actually have a clip of it saved thanks to Midge. When I went up against the last guy, he had a Miltank, and he fucking Mega Evolved it, or Mega Sweeted it. And it just became a Miltank with just a bunch of sensor bars in front of its teats.
God damn it. Wow.
I was like, I busted my ass out laughing when I saw that.
Jesus Christ. It's a meme right there.
It was so great. Like, I'll have to go find that clip and I'll have to share it with you guys later on. But that was just pure gold.
Damn. All right.
Jerry
What about
will hit you.
What about?
Yeah, because I was going on about some whatever came with Umbreon.
Anyways, about what?
I was gonna say, what about our rankings for the starters of Johto? I already know yours is gonna be Totodile first.
Totodile, Cyndaquil, and fuck Chikorita.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like Chikorita is going to be very bottom of the list of overall Pokemon, like overall starters.
It gets that treatment. It really does.
Oh fuck. What about you, Jerry?
I'm gonna flip the top two, and I'm gonna say Cyndaquil, Totodile, Chikorita.
All right, and me, I am very torn between Cyndaquil and Totodile, but just because of Crocodile, I do not really like whatsoever.
Oh,
And Quilava, I enjoy more. I'm gonna give the edge to Cyndaquil.
the average Quilava enjoyer.
So, like, don't get me wrong, like Chikorita was a good idea, but it's just like when the Pokemon evolve, like Bulbasaur, when Bulbasaur evolves, his bulb hatches and turns into like a rosebud, and he gets bigger and it looks a little more vicious. And when he evolves again, it's just like this giant ass flower, and he just looks like this giant ass unhappy turtle who looks like he could eat a Twinkie in one bite. Chikorita, when he evolves, his leaf just gets slightly bigger, and he gets a little necklace.
But when he goes to Meganium, he goes full flower around the neck.
Oh yeah, like, ooh, welcome back from Hawaii. Like,
Oh, Lola didn't exist yet.
Yeah, but
they could have done better with Chikorita.
Okay, I see the argument. Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Typhlosion's like little fireburst ports, though. Fantastic.
oh yeah,
Chef's kiss.
gotta love that design.
Yes.
No,
There is one thing I will say about the Gen 2 starters, though, is they chose to make them pure. All three of the starters maintain their starter type and never get a second type.
which I appreciate that.
Yes, and they've done that at other times in the series as well.
Right.
I mean, they did that with Gen 8.
Yeah, they did. Very much so. With all of them, too, huh?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like that was an intentional thing, because I think there was some discussion amongst fans in Gen 1 that, you know, the grass poison might not have been a good idea for Bulbasaur, and the fire flying was too good because there weren't enough good rock moves. And then they came out with Rollout. Everybody cried. Rightfully so, because oh my god, Rollout, right?
Yeah.
Rollout was
But-
such garbage.
Going back to that Miltank. I know somebody in chat mentioned that too. Oh, but no, so the Gen 2 starters definitely had that uniqueness to them.
Yeah.
So Brady wants to know what's y'all's favorite legendary dog / cat.
Oh, Suicune.
I would have to say Suicune.
He has like
I
a
would
really
have-
cool wolf design. Sorry.
I would have to say Raikou. I want it to be Suicune, but those dumbasses didn't make it an ice type like they should have.
Yeah.
That should have been the companion to my Articuno, and instead it's just another water type. Just saying.
Well, sucks.
It knew Aurora Beam. It should have been an ice type.
Would that have taken place of Articuno?
No. No. It would have gone alongside. I mean, but one of the things that I really liked about Articuno is even within the game and what little bit of data that Gen 1 had, they added lore about how Articuno was what hikers lost in Icy Mountains saw before they died.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Articuno's
Actual
a-
Pokédex entry stuff. Like, Articuno is the bringer of death in the cold.
He's a hating ass bluebird. That's what it sounds like.
Listen, he's awesome.
He is. I'm just making voice.
Let's see here.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I like Raikou. I like the electric concept. Entei was just trying too hard to be regal. But
Yeah.
But Raikou just looked like a big zippy badass.
I like Entei in Smash Bros. Melee. No.
Articuno here, a legendary bird Pokemon that is said to appear to new people who are lost in icy mountains. It is said to appear if you're freezing on a snowy mountain.
Yup. Pokedex. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Articuno, man, my boy.
My boy.
It's like, I can't battle with my Articuno right now. He's collecting souls.
To power his death, his bloodlust. Oh,
and the way I see it is, when I was a kid, it was like, oh, that's like really badass. I saw it as more of an act of mercy sort of thing. Like, somebody was gonna die, so he's there to make it so that it wasn't painful anymore.
I don't know. If I saw a fucking bird flapping over mine, I knew he was like my doom signal. I'd be like, shit.
I mean, it's a doomed people in the mountains. It isn't somebody that just like climbed up a hill and was like, man, I'm feeling really good. There's like people that are like freezing to death and whatever, and it's like you see this bird that's acclimated to where you're at, and it's like, hey, it's time to go, man. Like, I think you're right.
You're just climbing around a mountain, you're fucking seeing your flap there, and you're like, fuck.
Should just name your next Articuno the Omen. That's the Omen of death.
Huh? I could do that.
Alright, what about Gen 3, guys?
Wasn't that great? We could just skip that one.
Before we skip Gen 3, though.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
We are at 1 hour.
Oh.
So, as you guys know, you guys each have a chance on both mine and Charizard stream to win. So you have 2 chances every hour to win however many shiny Pokemon Jerry is willing to give you. So, are you set up on your side, Charles, for your...
I don't have a raffle thing at all. I'll just go by who says what.
Oh my Jesus, Trouse. Okay.
I didn't realize...
Alright. Well, I have 3 entries on my side.
Well, if you guys want to go...
You don't have a link for the guest? Oh, shit. There we go.
Hang on, I didn't sign up.
There we go. There's my partner in crime who I am doing every podcast with.
Yeah.
PIC.
Bree wants to enter on both sides.
Let me bring out the Google wheel of spins.
And on my side, on Wintercask's side, if you guys type !raffle, you'll be entered on my side because I was smart enough to set up a raffle bot.
Alright, so let me see who on my side wants to enter. Just put yes. I know I see Bree. I'm gonna put Bree in right now. Okay, Bree's put in mine. Who else wants?
Oh no, Bree's got an ad. Uh-oh. Make me money!
Hello, Horatio. Are you trying to enter in as well?
Of course that happens now.
It's okay, it should be over with shortly.
Also, thank
good,
you for
2
the
of
follow.
them.
Y'all can still hear me on Charles' side, it's fine. I'm poor. Be not poor. So Turno, if you want to also join on my side, you can fuck off Papa John's. What's wrong with Papa John's? I love Papa John's pizza. Oh, I would love a slice. Also, you can type !raffle on my side. Nothing's wrong with the pizza, but get your ad out of my face. ! Add this part. And then raffle.
Yeah.
There you go. You did it. Okay.
Alright, so for this giveaway, I will say that all of these Pokemon are legit. There's no hacked shinies here. I have acquired every single one of these, and most of them, like all but one, were acquired in Pokemon Go. Because I do that as well. Yes. I have a Nincada, a shiny Nincada up that was a max raid battle Nincada.
Oh shit. All right. Well, here's the first rolling, guys. So good luck to all of you. Wish you all the best of luck. The first person who gets shinies from I almost said Charles, from Jerry is 8-bit.
Shiny. 8-bit.
There you go. Let me put it on. Hold on. Where's my display capture?
You're still in the raffles, Charles. It'll be God damn it! You're still in the raffles, Taylor. So if you gotta go to bed, we'll just let you know when you win. We'll message you later. Go to bed. Do your business. Absolutely. Thanks for joining. Thanks for enjoying.
All right, first spin over here. Between Bree and Horacio is Bree.
Get a 50-50 shot.
All right.
Hell yeah.
It's Bree.
Okay, so
all right.
Joey,
Well, I have a message out to 8-bit so that she can pick the first one.
I will be
And
right
then-
back. Gotta use the restroom.
And then, Bree, I will contact you and let you know what you have to choose from after 8-bit has picked hers. And I'm going to jot down all these names. They might not all get out tonight, but I will get them out to people. I'll get names and contact information if it's people I don't already know.
exactly.
But I will, yes.
So, regardless, if you guys win, you guys will get your Pokemon one way or another.
Yep, I've got them loaded in Pokemon Home. They are capable of being traded directly from home to home if you want to do that. And all of these Pokemon are compatible with Sword and Shield, so I can trade them to you from Sword and Shield as well if you would like. That was part of the reason this set was selected. I did not pick any of the sets of 3 starters from any of the generations, although Pikachu and Eevee are there if you want to argue. But yeah, no, so everything should be good to go to Sword and Shield. Bree says, I don't trust you. Bree, I've given you so many shinies already.
What's another one, right?
Right?
Okay.
But yes, okay, so we will
So
get
on the-
those going.
On the Gen 4.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, we just got done with Gen 3. We're getting ready to go to Gen 4.
Jesus Christ, come on.
So Gen 3,
All right.
I don't remember much Gen 3. Gen 3 starters. Hold on.
Oh, Trico, Mudkip, Torchic, Mudkip, Mudkip.
Trico, Torchic, and Mudkip. What are all the Gen 3 Pokemon? Was there any Gen 3 Pokemon that I would have taken into my team? Let me look here. I mean, we got it.
I would say Trousers got to be the resident Gen 3 guy. Why don't you tell us about your experience with Gen 3 first?
Okay, Gen 3 is very special to me. I would play countless hours every single day from like 5th and 6th grade, just nothing but playing Emerald and trying to figure out all the secrets and all that stuff. Because I didn't really use the internet too much, so I was just like doing everything by how I discovered stuff. And
Yeah, I want to clarify something real quick. You said 5th and 6th grade for Emerald.
Yep.
Okay. So when I was talking about being head first into red and blue, I was in 8th grade. Then.
Yeah. Yeah, dang.
So, okay, continue.
But yeah, yeah, it was my favorite gen for a reason because I spent the most hours with it. The music still gives me happiness when I hear it, the old stuff. My favorite fucking legendaries, all of them are sick. Every single one of them. I don't even like Deoxys and Jirachi and the Reggies. all of the fucking badasses, all of them are cool. Like I can't. It's hard to choose favorites in this one for me. Really hard. A lot of them line up with a 10 out of 10 scale, but then there's some that are like 11 out of 10 for me.
Right on.
But yeah, I played it a lot.
Jerry, we know you're old. It's okay. Ouch. Poor Jerry. Like.
Well, and speaking of Jerry being old, so Gen 3 for me was the working world. I really hadn't gotten back into Pokemon yet. Like, I think I had graduated high school by that point. But I hadn't fallen back into Pokemon, and it would come halfway through Gen 3. So because Gen 3 was where we got Fire Red and Leaf Green. But we'll get there. We're talking about Hoenn right now. But yeah, no, so like I didn't really do Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I'm actually still in the process of playing my first playthrough of Emerald.
Interesting.
I started it on stream, and I've been tinkering with trying to do some Nintendo DS Lite modding to try to get a video out going on it, so that I can stream Game Boy Advance and DS games from it. But I have been using the functional DS components I have lately to play more Emerald.
Damn good game. It's kind of rough, though. It's kind of rough with this mechanics. It's a little bit of an awkward stage between 3 and 4, but...
Right. Oh, yeah. I've enjoyed it. I haven't had any particular complaints about the game. Freaking Winona's a beast.
This gen's so great, they added 2 pseudo-legendaries, Salamence and Metagross.
They did.
And they're both sick.
See, and by the time that Gen 3 came out and I heard about, Salamence and another dragon pseudo-legendary, like, it started to be one of those things that, dragons were overpowered. I didn't do anything competitive in digital Pokemon stuff, but you knew that the dragons, the psychics and the dragons were what you had to have. And it was one of those things that, like, I kind of need to be contrary at times. So since dragons are cool, I can't have them. That's no good.
Wow.
Additional side note to that, dragons are cool, and I don't get why you think dragons are cool, because I have Articuno that can ice beam them into oblivion.
There you go.
So in further backing my boy Articuno, I never saw the relevancy of dragons. So, and because of that, I missed out on what I would say is probably my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon, frickin' Swablu and Altaria.
Oh, dude. Oh man, I can get into more in Gen 6. But Mega Altaria was something fucking else.
Right?
But in general, Altaria was probably in my top 5 Hoenn Pokemon.
Oh yes. Love me some Swablus.
Hey,
they were well worth to train up. Cotton Guard times 3 defense. So good. But what is your favorite Winter?
My favorite Pokemon? I never did a whole lot in Gen 3. But if I had to pick a Pokemon, like, in terms of Pokedex entry, just because it's, like, really fucking dark, I'd have to go with Spoink. But...
Dude. Oh, fuck.
My favorite Pokemon, is Zangoose.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
But I really hated how, like, that's not a word that I want to use on that. I I found it interesting how they had Spoink's Pokedex entry so dark.
Oh,
Like-
and then they just get darker from there.
It's
I mean,
it's a really cute Pokemon too, like super adorable.
And 4th gen has Drifloon, and 5th gen has Litwick. Like, they just keep going down the dark hole.
Yeah.
Like, it bounces constantly, using its tail like a spring. The shock of bouncing keeps its heart beating. Like, how does that fucker sleep?
Oh man,
How do you feed it? Like,
it's just an anomaly. It's an enigma.
It's
That
just
is
a very
just-
bouncy Pokemon.
that is just such a shitty life to live that you just have to constantly bounce, else you fucking die.
But I mean, he's built for it too. So
He built
like,
different. He built different.
it's definitely a dark way to go with that. But like, his entire body, he basically functions as a spring. So
Yeah.
you know, it'd be a little different if, you know, he was like an elephant. You know, they can't really jump, but he's got to bounce or he dies.
Don fan.
Can't skip bounce day. Aw.
Can't skip bounce day.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't seen Frank for a while. Where is he? He skipped bounce day. man.
Oh, oh shit.
Dude,
Well, check the obituaries.
if I could
Yo,
bring up
bouncuaries.
one of the
Obituaries.
wow. Jesus Christ. Oh man, but my favorite is on the wall there on the podcast art. It's Rayquaza, the legendary himself.
Quay.
That Rayquaza. I always called him Quasar because he's badass.
Quasar.
Like
Nice.
like a literal Quasar. But I do have a least favorite, which is funny enough for my favorite gen. Fuck Pelipper. Fuck that protecting ass bitch. He is just annoying.
You know what? If I really wanted a water flying on my team, I would go get a Gyarados.
Yeah, Pelipper was just a big nuisance in Emeralds, to be honest. Like, anytime it came out, they're like, protect first turn, protect 50% chance would go off anyway for the second turn. It's like, what the fuck?
Right.
I was just done with Pelipper, and he just a very dopey looking evolution to, like, I have no problem with Wingull. He's cute. He's Professor Briny, or Dr. Briny, or whatever his fucking name is, Captain Briny, his little
Pico.
buddy. Yeah, Pico, that's his little buddy, and he, you know, I thought that was cute, but when he becomes Pelipper, he just becomes a monstrosity and also a nuisance, and he's just something I despise in the game. The only, like, even more than Zubat in Gen 1.
No,
But, yeah.
I do gotta say that I have a worst Pokemon on this list too, and that's Claydol.
Oh,
Really?
So it's a long story, but to make it short and brief, when I still lived in Albuquerque, and Horatio knows this person I'm going to talk about. He goes by the Horror Fiend on YouTube, and he and I are like best buds. Like, we love talking and playing games and all that kind of bullshit. But he got into Pokemon, and he made a deck around Claydol. And, like, he was able to make this deck just fucking work, and it pissed me off so much. And every time that Claydol come out, I'd be like, Claydol, 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 I made you out of clay.
Oh my gosh.
God damn it.
Like, every time it came out, you're just like, well, I scoop, I'm done, I'm not playing this game no more.
Damn.
Just because he knew how to make the deck work. It was,
I like how the card game is what made you not like him.
yeah, the card game really made me not like Claydol.
That's funny as fuck.
It's just, I just
That's
loved how
funny.
it's like Claydol, 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 I made you out of clay. It's just like,
Yeah. There was another Pokemon that would have made it my worst if I didn't realize later that it became fucking Flygon. I used to not like Trapinch. I thought it was I
Oh.
thought it was a single stage little bastard, and I didn't realize it became Flygon, which is sick.
Right.
So I didn't realize so till like Gen 6. I was like, what the fuck? Trapinch becomes that? I was so mad at myself. I was like, I could have had so many Trapinches become badasses later.
See, and Flygon truly got the short end of the stick throughout all of Pokemon, because Flygon did not get a Mega Evolution like Salamence did. Salamence was the pseudo legendary, has a higher base stat set. They're both, major dragons from that generation, but Flygon was like the dragon ground, and he was the badass. But he also had a very bug look, and he could have very easily been Bug Dragon. And you know what? We don't have a Bug Dragon yet. We still don't have a Bug Dragon.
Kind of like Altaria filled the role for Dragon Fairy for the only one that's like that.
Yes, but they jilted Flygon out of that, and that makes me sad because once I got into the later gens and I started looking back at, oh man, these are some neat Pokemon that I didn't know from the past, and I was like, oh man, Flygon was cool.
And they easily could have the opportunity to change Flygon because they fucking turned Clefairy and Clefable into fairy types, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, in Gen 6 when they introduced Fairy, they said, okay, we're gonna retcon that these are now fairies.
So why don't they do that with Flygon?
Because they haven't retconned any other types in like that. That was specifically for, these are Pokemon that are very clearly fairies, but we didn't have a fairy type at that time. But now we do, so now they are.
Raid on over here, Tuba. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome on in. We're having a podcast about Pokemon. Welcome in. Hope everyone's doing well. And I hope you had a great stream. But yeah, feel free to, join in the conversation with Pokemon. We're in Gen 3 right now. We're gonna be shortly moving over to Gen 4 here in a moment. But yeah, we're going through all the generations, doing a Pokemon Shiny giveaway at the end of the hours and stuff. So if you want to join the giveaway, you just let me know, or go over to this channel over here, who's also my co-host, Wintercask. He also has a raffle over there. You can also take part in.
So you get 2 chances.
Shiny Pokemon.
You get 2 chances every hour.
Yep. But yeah, thanks again for the raid.
Yeah, hi Tubes.
So what about our rankings for the Gen 3 starters?
So that's tough. That's really tough. Trico has to be number 1 for me. And then I think Mudkip and then Torchic.
So, out of curiosity, not judging, just want to know, why Trico on top?
I've always been a grass type lover.
Okay.
And cool. I've always stuck with grass types, and Trico's cool. Ash's Trico, who just chews on that little wheat straw, fuck yeah.
Chill as fuck. He's the most chill.
Okay, cool.
What about you, Jerry?
Okay, so Mudkip, absolutely number 1. Mud boy for life. For life. Oh my gosh. You know why? Because except for winter, nobody ran grass types. And the only thing he was weak to was freaking grass types. And so you could just stomp things. You could surf them, and if you couldn't surf them, you could earthquake them. Mudkip. And then Trico. Because as much of a lover of fire types as I am, Torchic started the pattern, and I will never forgive him.
Uh-oh. Oh, I know what it is. Firefighting.
The firefighters. Yeah, you know what? I'm spoiler alert, the bottom of each starter trio for the next 3 generations are gonna be the same.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, no. I like Trico. The big thing about Trico is he didn't really stand out to me. Mudkip turns into this mud boy or water ground and just awesome. Trico holds his own. And then Torchic is a fucking firefighter. Which Blaziken, in its defense, is a very good Pokemon.
Yeah.
And my dislike of Blaziken is retroactive. Like, I didn't start hating Blaziken really until Gen 5.
When it was nothing but firefighters.
So it's like, oh my god, again?
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, you guys are off the list. You're out. Go.
I feel that.
And so, I get it. Like, I get that. I get that feels.
But mine, I think, this is a complicated one for me. It's been always complicated.
Choose your answers wisely here, I want to say.
As I said before, the Gen 1, they're so fucking close. It's no longer 10, 9.59. It's like 10, 9.9, 9.8 with these guys. It's how fucking close they are for me. And I always flip-flop around. Like before, when I was younger, it was always Blaziken, then Mudkip, and Trico. But as I've grown older and realized how fucking badass Swampert becomes, and I have to give Swampert the edge as first.
Okay.
And I've really come around with Sceptile too, because he's such a chill-looking ass dude. He looks stoned as shit. And he becomes a Grass Dragon Mega later, but...
He does become a Grass Dragon Mega later. I was going to come back to that.
Yeah, like, that was really cool for Gen 6, but, like, if it were just strictly Gen 3, he's still bottom, but, yeah, it's definitely Mudkip Torchic, and Trico.
Okay.
That's for me.
So we all had a different pattern for that one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a tough one.
Okay.
All right. What about we move on to the Gen 4 now?
Yeah. Let's move on to Gen 4.
I need to bring the old Pokedex out for this one because I'm not too familiar with this.
Okay,
yeah,
so right before we start Gen 4, I'm going to spring back a tiny bit and talk technical Gen 3, Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Okay.
So it was at the point of Fire Red and Leaf Green being released that somebody said, hey, they re-released the Gen 1 games on the Game Boy Advance. And I was like, what? And then I went out and bought a Game Boy Advance and started playing again. That is when I got back into Pokemon.
Yeah.
So my gap was a whole bunch of Gen 1, not really 2, no 3, and then back to Gen 1 again. And then from there, Gen 4 was announced, and I went head first into Gen 4.
Easy clap.
Yep. Because Gen 4 had this fantastic feature where they had moved to a new platform with the DS, but you could move your Pokemon forward. I didn't have to leave my Articuno in the last game. I could move it to the new game and keep using it. And that was awesome. That was amazing. And sold. And I did. I played through Diamond, played through Pearl, I played through Diamond a couple more times. I bought Platinum, I played that, then Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, and I had the opportunity to take all these things that I had drugged from Gen 3 and copy them over there and play through them in Heart Gold Soul Silver. And I just kept going, like, head first, Gen 4. Loved it.
Now, Gen 4 introduced a couple of my absolute favorite Pokemon. Although I never really delved into 4. Like I said prior, I don't think this is my favorite gen. Like, I hated this gen. But it did introduce a couple of my favorite Pokemon, which is Honchkrow and Weavile.
Hey.
Okay.
Honchkrow vibes.
I can respect that.
I've always been a dark type Pokemon trainer. Like, if I get the opportunity, I will always have like a pure dark team.
What I like about Gen 4, even though I haven't played much of it, I like what it brought, which was bringing some types further evolutions like Magnezone, Electivire, Magmortar, Rhyperior, like all these badasses that are still pretty cool now.
Yes.
Like, that was really cool.
One of the other huge things that Gen 4 did for Pokemon, revolutional, in fact, was the physical special split.
Ah, yes.
Because all of the games before Gen 4, if you used a fire move, it was a special attack. If you used a ghost move, it was a physical attack. If you used a water move, it was special. If you used a normal, it was physical. Gen 4 allowed the split, and that doesn't seem super special at first, but you begin to consider when you look back over old Pokemon, there are loads of Pokemon that had fantastic physical stats, but had special types. So they were never able to optimize their typings. And when that split occurred, they added a bunch more moves to kind of start to balance that, you know, there are good physical grass moves and there are good special grass moves. And all of a sudden, the field of available Pokemon that could actually be competitive, that could have a good use, exploded. It made everything old, new, and useful again. And that is one of the things I love about Gen 4.
It's a good gen. It really modernized everything, huh?
Gibble and Garchomp, Miss Magius, Frenzy Plant. What the hell is Frenzy Plant?
Frenzy Plant is one of the starter-only moves that you could tutor onto any of the starters. There was a set of them. Frenzy Plant, Hydro Cannon, I think. Yeah, Hydro Pump is the big one. Hydro Cannon and Blast Bird. But they are unique to only starters from any generation can learn them.
Huh.
Interesting. And if I were to be able to choose a favorite, it's hard because there's some cool ones in here. There's like Luxray, which is sick, Garchomp. But I think my favorite has to go to Dusknoir. He's a ghost. I love ghosts as well. And he's just
has a black hole in his chest.
Yeah, I like that he's because I like Duskull line, the Duskull and Dusk Clops, but
Yeah.
they brought Dusknoir and he was super more defensive, so I liked him.
And something interesting that happened with Dusknoir, since you brought him up. Dusknoir is loved by a lot of people that play competitive, not because of Dusknoir, just because he exists. Since Dusclops can now evolve, he gains the benefit of Eviolite, which increases his defenses by an additional 50%.
Damn, that's pretty good.
And so actually in competitive, you will see more Dusclops than you will Dusknoir, but that is only because Dusknoir exists.
Damn, that's crazy. Fucking competitive shit.
Yes, Horatio. Trick Room and Eviolite.
So what are you guys' favorites in here? There's a lot of good ones.
Favorite Gen 4. I might have to be basic about this and just say Luxray.
Luxray?
Yeah.
He's pretty sick.
It was a nice change to see an early game electric type that had a 3-stage evolution and could hold its own through most of the game. I think it made most people's final teams in their first playthrough of Gen 4.
I know
because
it
kept getting good stats, and with the physical special split, it got things like Bite and Crunch. And the worst travesty that happened to Luxray was that he was not Electric Dark. He should have been Electric Dark.
Yeah, I believe that should have been.
But even still, a Luxray with Crunch was a monster to carry you. Yeah, Horatio said, carried me through the Elite Four. Absolutely.
Also, the Intimidate was very nice to have.
Oh, definitely. I will say, and this might be a surprise and it might not, least favorite Pokemon of Gen 4, Garchomp. Fuck that guy.
Whoa, that's interesting.
And again, it was that I have to be contrary. Everyone loves Garchomp. Garchomp's so cool. You know who didn't give 3 flips about Garchomp? My Articuno that one-shotted him.
You and your Articuno always come back around with the
Dragon Ground. Double weak to ice.
Oh,
I
man.
gave 0 fucks about Garchomp.
Goddamn. Worst one for me, probably fucking stupid ass Stunky or some shit. Stunky, just a skunk. He ain't that special. Also, Kricketot was a bitch in Gen 4 when I first started my playthrough. It would always do the fucking release energy and do like way too much damage for a little bastard like him. What else? What about the legendaries? What do you guys think of the legendaries?
They got carried away. It's where it started. It's where it started, and it just kept going. I mean, you can't deny they got carried away. They made God.
God, the Pokemon.
God, the Pokemon. So, I mean, but, okay, so looking back, of course, you know, no one knew what it would be back in the day. But Gen 1 had 5. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Mewtwo, and Mew. Arguably Arcanine, if you're one of those people.
And Dragonite, maybe.
Well, Dragonite's pseudo-legendary, not legendary.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Arcanine's Pokedex entry actually has it listed as a legendary Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
So, arguably, he's a legendary. So you had 5, maybe 6. And then Gen 2, you had your dog trio, Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Celebi. So you made it 2-6. You went from 5 to 6. And then Gen 3, they picked it up a little bit. You had your Reggie trio. You had Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza. And then you had...
Deoxys to Jirachi.
Deoxys and Jirachi. So
Oh,
now you're
Latios.
So now you're up to 10. So we've gone from 5 to 6 to 10. And then Gen 4 happened. And you had the Lake Trio. Azoth, Mesprit, and Uxie. You had Heatran. You had Shayaman. You had Arceus. You had Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina.
Regigigas.
You had Regigigas. Like
Eon, Manaphy, Victini.
Eon and Manaphy. At that time, I had thought that...
That's 15, Jesus.
Yeah, no, like, it just keeps going. Like, and they just were like, oh yeah, legendary Pokemon are so cool, we're just gonna shove a bunch of them in there. Cresselia, Darkrai. Yeah, like, there's just so many legendaries. And yes, so basically there's a legendary for everyone in Gen 4. But at the same time, it's like, it almost cheapens the legendaries because there's so many.
I'd have to just choose Reggie because the Reggies began in Gen 3 out of my favorite legendaries from this, because that's all I know about the game.
Yeah, Draco said it. Legendary wasn't even legendary anymore at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so like the legendary boom occurred in Gen 4. And so that they're cool. They were super cool. And you know, they totally float you through the Elite Four. Unless you're using the dragon ones, and then you went up against Cynthia and she had that Garchomp, which I didn't really care about because Articuno used Ice Beam and it was super effective. But yeah, so I mean, like that was its thing. And at the time, you know, I was still young enough that I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Look at all these legendaries. And then Gen 5 started to do more of the same. And we're not to Gen 5 yet, but
We probably should start swapping over to Gen 5, though, here shortly.
oh, okay. So, Gen 4 is one that I can definitely ramble about. But Gen 5 was once again, after I had gone headfirst into Gen 4, fell out of love. So I didn't really do much with Gen 5.
No?
I bought Black and White on release day.
Oh, wait. You know what we forgot to do before we moved on to Gen 5?
What's that?
Rate those
Starter rank.
Pokemans.
Rank the starters.
Oh, starters. Okay. So it's a toss-up between Turtwig and Piplup because Water Steel was a cool combo and I liked it. My very first playthrough, I picked Piplup. However, Turtwig was evolved into a grass ground that was physical attack dominant and could earthquake the world. It was so good. I love, like, retroactively, I absolutely love Turtwig. And that fire monkey can go fuck itself.
You're like, I like Toidles. What about you, Winter?
I would have to put Turtwig at the top, Piplup second, and Chimchar third. I didn't like the fact that we had a fire monkey for all of our choices.
Really?
Didn't like him. Did not like him. And it wasn't for the fact that y'all are thinking that it's another firefighter. No.
That was the fact for me.
I was not a fan of him. Like, you got a penguin, but like he's a cool penguin. You know, you got like a turtle. He's got like a little bud on his head. He's a cool turtle. But then you have a monkey that kind of looks like what is he doing here? Like, did he like miss his turn to Curious George or? And I don't care if anybody hates me for my thoughts on Chimchar. He just does not belong.
Damn.
I'll allow it.
Oh. Damn, he's my favorite Chimchar because he's a monkey. In general, because he's a monkey. I love monkeys. He's an adorable monkey that kicks ass. Piplup and Turtwig are a little closer, but I have to give it to Piplup. I like penguins more, but I can't deny how strong Turtwig becomes. They're very close together, but Chimchar kind of beats them out by a bit. But that's me right there.
Okay.
All right, Gen 5 time.
Gen 5.
What we got?
What's the first Pokemon in the Gen 5 Pokedex?
Snivy.
Wrong.
Victini.
Victini.
Oh.
Why the hell did they put a legendary Pokemon in slot 0?
Didn't they? Wasn't Victini like some kind of like special like pre-release kind of thing? That you could
it was one of those you could go to GameStop and pick it up
before Gen 5 released?
No. It was on release. You could, if you had a save file on your Black and White cartridge, it was like the Azure Flute we never got for Arceus. It was like that you got an item that would unlock a place where you could go catch him.
Okay, hold up. I have the answer right here. There are many speculations as to why this was done from a practical perspective, as it seems odd that Victini is the only Pokemon to be given this special treatment. While the officials who created Victini never have officially stated why Victini was placed at the beginning of the Unova Dex, there are plenty of theories. It was given its special place because the officials thought it would bring good luck to have it at the beginning of the Dex. Victini is Junichi Masuda's favorite Gen 5 Pokemon, so it was placed at the start of the Dex to honor him. Now, who the fuck is
What?
Junichi Masuda?
What?
He's the guy who made Pokemon himself.
He's the game director for like all of the Pokemon games. And rolling back to Gen 4 for a minute, he is where we get the term Masuda method.
So why are they like? Why is it like in honor of him? Because it makes it sound like that he like died.
No, because he was on to his 5th generation of directing a game series.
That was like an honor for him, like that.
Yeah.
And
But no, the Masuda method was actually a brainchild of Junichi Masuda, that he wanted people to breed more Pokemon from different areas of the world. He wanted to give a reward to those that went out of their way to get Pokemon from around the world. And that is why the Masuda method, breeding Pokemon from different regions, causes you to have a higher odds of shinies from the eggs.
nice. Student method underrated, Tuba says.
Yep.
Man, for me, my experience with Gen 5 mainly comes from the anime, believe it or not. I watched it one day on a whim, bored as fuck, looking for shit to watch on Netflix. And they just so happened to have all of Gen 5 and Gen 1 to the Orange Islands, but I watched all of that already. And I was like, alright, let's check out Gen 5. And I kind of enjoyed it. It was pretty alright. I got to know a lot of the I was gonna say Digimon, Jesus, Pokemon that I like from, like, Gen 5 has some pretty good mons, I think, but they have a lot, which is something I realized. They have the most out of any gen to release, right?
I believe so. And part of the reason for that is there are no previous generation Pokemon available until after you beat the Elite Four.
Oh.
They wanted Gen 5 to feel like a brand new game with a brand new set of Pokemon for a brand new experience.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot of good ones though, but it was very overloaded, I feel, in certain aspects. There's a lot of throwaway mons, I feel.
Well, definitely a lot of throwaways, because if you're gonna start from scratch and you're gonna fill out the region with things that no one's seen before, you're gonna have the garbage ones as well as the good ones.
As
we're talking like little garbage.
Trubbish and Garbodor are there, right there, bam.
Yup.
Yeah, but I'd say, man, my favorites are like stuck between two right now, I think. Hydreigon and Crocodile. Crocodile, obviously, he's a crocodile and he's sick and like looks cool as fuck, and he has really cool Moxie ability. I loved them as a competitive mon. I used them for some stuff. And Hydreigon takes fucking forever to get to, but it's such a sick like design.
It sure does.
It's a cool dark dragon, but it does take a long fucking time. So I'm gonna have to go Crocodile for my favorite.
All right.
What about you guys?
Gen 5 introduced 2 Pokemon, and they both go to my dream team. Serperior.
Okay.
And Reshiram.
Oh, Reshiram. I think I know why. I've seen you have the art piece with that on there.
Yeah,
that's the fire dragon that Charizard never was.
Reshiram is part of that fucking $600 art piece that I had built.
Oh, wow.
It's a good piece of art.
That was a very expensive piece. Like, god damn, is it so fucking pretty.
It was worth it, man. It's one of your favorites, huh?
While Jerry talks about his, I'm gonna go see about getting it so I can show people. So when people are watching this podcast on YouTube, they can actually go and see the picture as Jerry's talking about his favorites.
Cool.
All right. My favorite, again, this was definitely a generation that I didn't really play. So it was all sort of retroactive. And so there was a few of them that kind of made my list from Gen 6. I was like, oh, these Pokemon are cool. And then I was like, oh, these are Gen 5 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And Hydreigon was definitely one of them. Dark Dragon was a very neat type, although I came late to the game. In Gen 5, Hydreigon absolutely wrecked competitive. And the reason for that is Hydreigon was the first pseudo-legendary that was special attack dominant.
Ooh. And the Dark Pulse.
Dark Pulse, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse. It could learn Surf and it could learn Flamethrower.
Such a good coverage, mana.
He was so well covered.
Like,
and I believe, I've read this somewhere, that he is 100% the reason that fairies are super effective against dragon types and dark types. So he's got a 4 times weakness to fairies so that they could shut him down so that he wouldn't be so broken anymore.
See, that's why he was on my Gen 6 Dragon team.
But Hydreigon is very cool. To echo what Winter said, Superior, all of my love of grass types is mostly retroactive. I didn't really give them the time of day back in the day, but Superior, Gen 5 was also the introduction of hidden abilities. And hidden abilities were fantastic because they had special dream team coverage for things. Superior's hidden ability is Contrary.
Oh, yes. That's such a... Yeah, I remember that. I used that for a different mana. What is it? The fucking squid Malamar?
Yes. And that was Malamar's, normal ability to have.
Yeah.
But it was Superior's hidden ability, and I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, yes, in Gen 5 there was a move called Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm was 130 power, 90% accurate. It was basically like a grass-typed Hyper Beam. Superior could learn this move. The drawback to Leaf Storm, though, wasn't that you had to wait a turn. It was that it dropped your special attack stat by 2 stages.
Yep.
And Contrary would reverse that to raise it.
So you use this monster of a move, wreck things, and now you're stronger to stomp even harder with it. That is fantastic.
It's like the Moxie for that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just every time you unleash this behemoth move, it gets more behemoth-er.
Behemoth.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Bless
So,
you.
that is a neat photo.
Just to let everybody know, I found a picture. I posted it up on my side. This was an expensive piece of art.
Beautiful.
It was a very expensive piece.
You see the restroom right there.
Yeah, you can see the Reshiram. And you can see me holding the Reshiram card in my hand.
I like how you both are giving a lot of love to Superior, though.
He's a
and
beautiful creature.
And like I said, it's retroactive because it really wasn't a thing in Gen 5. Like, Gen 5, once I discovered that Ambor was frickin' firefighting, I just put it down. I went hard on 4 and fell out of love with 5. You will find this continues to be a trend, and it does make me a little worried about Gen 9.
Flacoco is not gonna be a fighter. Like,
They're gonna break my heart with Sprigatito, though. They're gonna put it on 2 legs, and I'm gonna say I'm done.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we're talking about Gen 5. So yes, Hydreigon, Serperior, Ludicolo, the
That's
water
Gen 3.
grass typing.
That's Gen
is-
3.
Oh shit. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a reason why I thought that, but I won't go into explaining it. My bad.
You're good.
Ludicolo is cool though, by the
So
way.
Bree is talking about like Zoroark and Minccino and Cappuccino.
Zoroark. One of my least favorites, I think, is probably Basculin. He doesn't get cool till fucking Arceus, but
Right.
Basculin is just there.
I was watching some like did you know gaming type things about Pokemon the other day. And did you know that Basculin was added because they were worried that the region did not have enough just general fish water types in it.
It was just a throwaway mon.
It was a throwaway, and then they gave it 2 different colored forms so that there was some uniqueness so that they could spam it even more.
Yikes! It's like out of all the normal Magikarp, Feebas, Basculin's the most boring and
It's a sea
like,
bass.
yeah.
Like
It's,
sea
even Animal
bass.
Crossing doesn't like that shit. Yeah. What about their starters? What are you gonna give their rankings?
Okay.
I think we've already done it.
Yeah.
Well, we know they're your first.
And you know my last.
Yep.
For you both?
Jerry and I are in unison on this one.
Okay. I am Superior Oshawa and Tepig too.
So we are all in agreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Bree,
hope
yeah,
we
that's-
didn't bully you into that though, Trouser. It's okay if you like Tepig.
You brought up that contrary, and I was like, hell yeah. So I remember using a superior one in Gen 6 for that reason.
Yes.
Oh,
there was
it's
the
so
mushroom
good.
types too. Fungus and Amoongus.
Oh,
Oh man.
more grass poisons because we didn't have enough of those.
But it's a fungus.
It's fungus.
It's a mungus.
There were so many other things you could do with grass. Why did they keep going back to grass poison?
Because
I
it's a
get that there are
fungus.
toxic plants. I
A
get
mushroom
that there are
is
toxic
poison.
plants.
Just look at Mario Brothers. Mushrooms are poison.
Well, some of them make you big.
Oh.
And, and Shroomish and Breloom showed that, you could have a positive outcome from being a grass type and a mushroom.
Dude, I gotta bring up Darmanitan. What about that beastly motherfucker? That big monkey that hits everything for one shot.
I didn't play the generation really, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, I used them in Gen 6. I'm referencing all these mons, how I used them later,
Okay.
So that's how I'm talking. Because I never played Gen 5 either, really. I have only played Gen 6, which had the mons, and I used a lot of them. But
Okay.
that's where I'm basing my stuff off.
But can I
What-
point out
what-
one more cool Pokemon in 5?
Go for it.
Joltik.
Joltik's cute.
Joltik's cool. I'm gonna say this. Don't hurt me. He got rendered useless by Grubbin, though, in Gen 7.
But he's cute. I don't want a fucking boxcar for.
But fucking Vikavolt! Oh my god!
No, but he's
What's a crime? What's a crime is Haxorus isn't a fucking pseudo legendary.
He's
That makes
pure
sense.
dragon, though.
Volcarona.
Haxorus.
Volcarona was a thing.
My first
and
shiny
I-
is a Larvesta, actually.
My first shiny was a Psyduck in Gen 4. In the cave right at the beginning of the game where you run into Zubats after Jubilife. Because I was EV training a Pokemon on Zubats and I ran into this weird fucking Psyduck and I was like, well, I guess we're catching that.
Oh, man. Yeah, Gen 5 is pretty loaded with mons. And then Gen 6 has very little, right?
Gen
Comparatively.
6 had the smallest batch of new Pokemon, but because of the typing changes with Fairy and the addition of Mega Evolutions, there is a lot that went into how Gen 6 changed the game. But
Gen 6
I don't know.
was X and Y.
Yes. And I don't know if we're ready to talk Gen 6 or not, but I'll go on for a bit if we get to Gen 6 here. I don't know if maybe you want to spin the wheel of shinies first, though.
Oh, yeah, because it has been 2 hours. So,
all right, guys. Anyone in chat who wants to be entered in? I think I still have Horacio put in. Does anyone over here want to be entered? Just type in yes in chat.
Horatio, Excavalier was cool. Yes, that's another one I forgot about.
come on, Trousers chat. It's a free shiny.
Who wants in on the shiny thing? I don't. I'm not really sharing video, so I can't really share my list, but I have a box of Pokemon on home right now that I am willing to trade away to people. We have had 2 winners so far, so I am less a Meryl and a Lapras now. But there are still 28 great shinies to choose from.
Oh, so your 2 winners have decided.
Yes.
Okay.
And I figured the winners will probably get 2 Pokemon, but what I'm going to do is let everybody pick 1 and then go through it again.
Okay.
All right. So I have
So
Tuba and Horacio over here.
Bree says, eek!
No, everybody gets 2 chances at winning, Bree. Unless Jerry states otherwise.
You know what? I've got enough of these. We could be doing them every half hour.
All right. So should we do our first little?
Charles, you only have 2 moves. You have the IQ of 155 to solve this puzzle.
Oh wait, you want to? Oh, Draco wants to join in too. I didn't see that. Sorry about that. Okay, Draco's in. Oops, I'm spinning already. Oops.
Tuba didn't say yes. Why is Tuba in there?
He said, "Hey, I'm here in chat."
That's not yes. That's not the rules.
Wait, did that? Is that? Hold on. I thought that's what he meant because I'm like, Tuba, did you want us? Like, just and he just put, "Hey, I'm here in chat." And that's what I figured.
I'm just kidding.
Well, we got Horacio wins on my side.
Okay. Well, here we go.
I also like how you're infinitely spinning into oblivion there, Trouser.
All right. Well, he is in bed, but Storyteller wins the second drawing.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Cool.
Well, Tuba says he's not joining that, I guess. So Draco's gonna automatically win next time if no one else wants to. All right. So moving on to Gen 6.
Gen 6. X and Y.
Really toned it down on the legendaries.
They toned it down a little bit. They toned it down on Pokemon in general. However, I already had a fantastic little 3DS because I loved the 3DS gimmick. So I was good to go when X and Y came out, and that was when they started making breeding significantly easier.
Yeah.
That is when they added the Destiny Knot functionality to inherit 5 stats from parent Pokemon instead of 3. And so it was a game changer. Literally. Actually, I did not realize this until recently, but apparently it was common for competitive Pokemon players to hack in their Pokemon.
Oh shit.
They wouldn't hack broken things, but they would hack the stats so that they wouldn't have to spend hours upon hours upon hours breeding to try to get that Pokemon to use.
Huh.
And that to me feels sad. Which is why I thought it was so cool in Gen 6. They made it so much easier to breed Pokemon with that Destiny Knot.
So, Horatio, on the picture that I had on Facebook, look at that one and pick your prize that's not Lapras or Marill. Okay.
Should I set aside the Scyther for Storyteller now?
Probably.
Okay.
He's just probably going to automatically claim that shit.
Yeah. I'm just going to mark it because we know Storyteller.
Yeah.
But so yeah, no, X and Y gave us that. In addition, they gave me something that made me very happy because being a Gen 1er from back in the day, I know that Psychic is broken and I know they've done tons of things to make Psychic less broken, but Psychic is still a really damn good type. And they made my Fire Starter a Psychic type. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Not a fighter.
Not a fighter. In fact,
Finally.
a type that is super effective against those damn fighters.
Take
And
that.
I was so pleased with Delphox.
Yeah, nice.
Also, it was around the same time as Yelvis's "What Does the Fox Say?" So, what does Delphox say? Yip, 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 yip.
Yeah. Man.
Oh, no, yeah. Everything lined up for Delphox then.
Yeah, my experience with Gen 6 all comes from Omega Ruby. Big shocker, right?
I believe it.
Hoenn region is my favorite, but yeah, like all my experience comes from that. That's when I got, for the first time, competitive with Pokemon I was breeding. I was getting to 6 IVs and all that shit.
Nice.
And, I had a 6 IV Greninja, man. He was with Protean. Oh, fuck.
Protean
So-
Ninja.
Yeah,
Yo.
I had Scald, Grass Knot, Dark Pulse, and I forgot the other move, but I was really hitting. What else? Fucking Dragalge, Poison Dragon,
Dragalge.
really good
Yep.
counter to
Actually, that one surprised me. That in the generation they added fairies to counter dragons, they added a dragon that could counter fairies.
Yep, he was on my All-Star Dragon team, which also included Tyrantrum, which is a badass fossil type. Like
Tyrantrum.
He's probably my favorite fossil out of all the fossils. Rock Dragon, and he looks badass T-Rex. I love dinosaurs.
And his hidden ability
Dude,
is
strong.
Hard Head.
Oh, he has Hard Head. Not Strong Jaws is the other one. The normal
And
one, right?
so he had Stab Head Smash and didn't take recoil damage?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's so
So
many good
good.
ones in here. The dragons got a lot of love in this one because Noivern also in here.
Yeah.
Gudra.
I
Gudra's
love
good.
Noivern. And
Gudra is
Noivern is interesting because Noivern is officially the first dual-typed flying Pokemon that flying is the first type. It doesn't make a lot of difference in the games which type is actually listed first, but he is a flying dragon as compared to a dragon flying.
Yeah, secondary dragon typing.
Yeah. And the only other Pokemon to have a primary flying type like that was Tornadus, which is just pure flying.
Yeah.
Well, what was Spearow? Normal flying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Talonflame is probably one of the best birds out of all the bird starting, route. You know what I mean?
He got one of the hardest nerfs of any Pokemon in a game.
Oof.
He did. Because Talonflame was the competitive Pokemon. And in Gen 7, they straight up altered what his ability did. What was it? Was it Gale Wings? that basically any flying type move used by that Pokemon was a priority move.
Huh.
So
Oh.
you always went first. You could Brave Bird and one-shot things and go first. You could Aerial Ace and not miss and go first. Or you could Roost and heal and go first.
Roost, bitch.
And what they did to nerf him is he only gets that priority attack bonus if he's at full HP. So you could no longer priority Roost, and if you did a priority Brave Bird, you could only do it once because the recoil damage would knock you out of full health.
Right.
And it was basically, it turned his entire gimmick into a once per battle thing and just completely ruined his competitive ability.
Big sad.
It is. And they kept it that way. In Gen 8, he still remains that way.
Oof.
But no, in his prime, Talonflame was a monster. Talonflame and Greninja with Protean were almost always staples on a team because you had the one that could just tear things up and the one that had the rando lottery of you didn't know what type you were up against.
Yeah.
And the other Pokemon that you'd almost always encounter in competitive, to the point that it got banned from some official competitive tournaments, Winter, is Kangaskhan.
What the fuck did I do? Oh.
Attack twice, Kangaskhan, Mega.
Mega Kangaskhan had the ability that basically the baby would attack a second time at 50% of the regular Kangaskhan's damage with every single move it used.
Oh, jeez.
And it had Fake Out. Fake Out would cause you to flinch, and you would take a bunch of stab damage because it's a normal type using a normal move, and then you would take 50% more in a second hit. And that clap was enough to actually KO some things. Because if it didn't KO you right away, they got the priority in, they knocked your health down, and it didn't matter if you were sturdy, you were done the next turn. And it had Power-Up Punch. So even though Power-Up Punch is not a strong attack, you were getting 50% more out of it. You were hitting twice. You were using Fighting as it's super effective in combat. And I believe you got the attack boost twice. It used the move twice the second time at 50% power.
Yeesh.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds
that's scary.
disgusting.
Yeah, and so Mega Kangaskhan just straight up got banned from some Gen 6 tournaments because, like, no, it's too good, you can't use this.
Jesus.
It's not my fault the developers made it that way.
I'm just playing the game within the boundaries that have been given to me.
Winter, did you have some favorites from this region?
You know, I'm looking at them. Like, my favorite would have to be Pangoro.
Oh, the Panda.
The Dark Fighter.
He is a
which
dark
was-
type too.
He's a good type combination for what he does, with the exception that he's quadruple weak to fairy.
Oh man.
Well, you know, sometimes Peter Pan's got to be up there in strength. Now, an honorable mention, though, just because I do love some creativity behind Pokemon, behind the Pokemon and what they are.
Okay.
A very honorable mention, I will say, is Aegislash.
Oh, Aegislash.
He is a badass motherfucker.
Like, who would have thought that having a Sword and Shield as a Pokemon would just be fucking cool?
I'd put him on my ghost team now. If I made a ghost
And
team.
that it's not as relevant as it should be in Galar in Gen 8.
Sword and
Yeah.
Shield, I get it.
God damn it. And what about Megas though? We haven't really got too much into the Megas yet.
The one Mega I always used and was like my staple and it's because I'm a basic bitch and I'm sorry. It was Mega Charizard. Mega Charizard Y.
Oh.
The Charizard that is more Charizard than normal, not the Charizard that becomes a dragon. And I will tell you why. Because Mega Charizard Y got a special attack buff over regular Charizard, so it could hit even harder with the moves it already had. And as a Mega, its ability changed to Drought. And what does Drought do for us?
Makes fire hit harder.
It doubles the damage of fire attacks, and it gives you the sunny day situation on the field. And you know what that does for a Mega Charizard? It lets it use Solar Beam in one turn, which means your crazy fast fire type can now one-shot water types before they can stop you.
Dang. Beef.
Charizard became the ultimate starter when the Megas came out because it could counter everything.
Mega Audino.
Mega Audino, yeah. I forget about that one too.
Also, I don't know if you caught it, Jerry, but Horatio wants Beldum.
Oh, I did not catch that, but I will jot it down.
If it can go to Shield.
What was I gonna say?
Yes, it should go to Shield.
I love the Megas so much. They're my favorite gimmick ever. Like, oh man. Like, I used Mega Altaria on my Dragon team. It was so good. Cotton Guard with Play Rough and Dragon Pulse and other shit, man. I was hitting and blocking pretty much. And I used, like, I had different Megas for different reasons. Like, I would use Mega Ampharos to sub in for an Electric Dragon sometimes.
Mega Ampharos was a cool one.
And Mega Sceptile for the Grass Dragon every so often too. Mega Gengar is so goddamn beautiful. Oh.
The fact that shiny Mega Gengar switches from black to white
Yeah, that
is
Mega shiny
amazing looking. If you've never seen a shiny Mega Gengar, Google it.
Mega. It's so good.
They're awesome.
And then one of my other favorites, Shiny Mega Rayquaza, not Shiny. Well, yeah, he's Shiny Mega Rayquaza is sick. He's my favorite all-time.
Oh, the Delta form Rayquaza or whatever.
Yeah, it's sick. That's probably my favorite Megas right there.
He's just a bunch of triangles.
Oh man, but I love that gimmick the most out of all the gimmicks we've had.
The Mega Evolution was cool.
Yeah, like I liked how we got a Mega Blastoise and a Mega Venusaur, which is cool. We got like a lot of cool new forms for a lot of Pokemon, which I really appreciated.
I like how Mega Blastoise was a little Pokemon with a big gun, and Gigantamax Blastoise is a big Pokemon with a bunch of little guns.
It just evens out.
Yep.
You have, I know you probably have Mega Kangaskhan as your favorite Mega, right? I'm sure, but you must have a couple others.
I've not really delved into Megas very much, so I can't answer that question.
Interesting.
I never got into this game enough, or this gen enough to play with Megas.
They are indeed very fun if you ever get around to it. They really change up everything.
The Citra emulator exists, and there are ROMs out there. You want to you want to do a challenge run with me through X and Y?
No. I've learned my lesson.
All right, what about the legendaries? We haven't talked about them quite yet. They have very sparingly have 1, 2 through 4, 5, 6.
So you've got your X, your Y, and your Z. You've got Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. Xerneas was... Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Diancie, Volcanion, and Hoopa.
Yup.
I was gonna say, I watched the Pokemon movie with Hoopa, and he's a bitch. Fuck him.
Hoopa is a psychic ghost, which is a type that does not get love, and probably should.
Opa's a bitch. Fuck him.
But Xerneas was basically Game Freak's opportunity to flex. Here's what a fairy type can be. And it's a monster. It was definitely a staple on competitive teams. Geomancy with the white herb so that you got the boost immediately instead of a turn later made it just so broken that he just super buffed and wiped everything out with moonbeams.
Very powerful boy.
Yveltal didn't get as much love as I would have liked. It is a dark flying type. Neat typing. Not original, but had some good moves for that typing, but was never really competitive.
It's got a better design, I think.
Yes, I'll agree with that. The design is probably cooler than Xerneas's. And then Zygarde was the plan that never really came to fruition.
That one was awkward.
Like, there was never a Pokemon Z, but having a Pokemon X and a Pokemon Y would really want you to have a Pokemon Z.
Yeah, it made sense, but they didn't do it.
And then Zygarde, it was the Z Pokemon. And then in Gen 7, they said, oh, well, that's only in the 50% form. There's like a 10% form, and like a 1% form, and a 100% form. And they just like expanded on it, but it was like too little too late. Like, that's probably what Pokemon Z should have been, was all of that. But since it never happened, they just sort of shoved it into Gen 7. But, where was I going with that, with the Zygarde stuff? Oh, in terms of expanding Gen 6, one of the things that I was so excited for when X and Y came out, and it ended up turning into nothing, and I was so sad, was that there is a train station in X and Y, and it is heavily alluded to in the game that this train station is going to take you other places. And I believe I read somewhere that there was a consideration of DLC for X and Y to add other regions into the game that you could travel to via train.
That would have been really good.
Oh,
And
so
they
they were
never
supposed
did
to
it.
do that again, like they did in Gen 2, but never fucking did it.
Right, but I mean, in Gen 2 we were talking about that, and wouldn't it be great if they just had the game where you could go to any of the regions? Like, that's what that train station was, and they never did it.
Man,
It's very unfortunate.
Oh, and that made me sad.
All right. What about the starters though?
So Froakie, well, okay, rewind. I'll give it to Fennekin because 1, boxes are cool. 2, fire types are cool. 3, it's not a firefighting, and 4, even better, it's a fire psychic. I'll give it to Fennekin, and then Froakie, and then whatever that grass thing was.
The Chespin? That grass thing.
Chespin was a swing and a miss. Chespin had potential, it didn't work out. I'm sorry. We all know it didn't work out.
I'm gonna have to agree on this one. Like, Fennekin number 1 and Froakie and Chespin can stay at 3. There's no number 2.
I am a Greninja stan.
I saw that coming from our talk earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I use them competitively 6 IVs with all the good shit, so I know how great he is.
Oh, I bred that guy. I didn't use Delphox competitively. I used Delphox for my playthrough, and I liked him. I used Greninja competitively.
The difference there is,
Yup.
But yeah, Delphox, even then, I still don't care too much for the typing that much. It's okay, it's cool, but I'm glad they switched from fighting for sure. But
Yes.
I still love that Water Dark, and also that Protean is just really nice. And then Chespin is just worse than even Chikorita. Yep. Anything-
Chespin had potential, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts on this gen before we go to 7?
Gen 6 is when I learned that Shuckle had a hidden ability of Contrary, and I made my first Shuckle, and it was a beautiful thing, pissing people off online.
Oh my, that's funny.
Because he did, because that's what he does. Shell Smash Shuckle with Contrary. He takes like 12 hit points of damage on a super effective hit. It's beautiful.
That's just terrible to go against, I'm sure.
I loved it.
I will say that Gen 6 gave me a love for Megas and reignited my love for Pokemon again after not being on it. Because I got a Gen 3 remake, but yeah.
Okay, one last thing about Gen 6. I played through Gen 6 so goddamn many times that I started doing challenges for myself. Where it's like, what if I play through it like this? What if I play through it like that? And one of the most memorable challenges I had that changed my opinion on a lot of things in Pokemon was I was shit-talking grass types. I was talking about how terrible they are, there's always better choices, and somebody said, you know what? Do a grass type playthrough. And I did. I bred up a team of eggs and then, traded them over to hatch them. But I told myself only one starter. Like, I could make a whole team of grass starters and just stomp the game. That's not fair. One starter is acceptable. And I chose Turtwig. This is where I learned to love Turtwig. But as part of that team, I put together with Turtwig, Ludicolo, Tropius, Shiftry, Leafeon, and my sixth was because I got because the other thing that I did was they were also my HM users, so I had to have somebody that could cut. Ludicolo could surf, Tropius could fly. And Credilli.
Oh, interesting choice.
And I learned the beauty of Ring Out, which is an insane move that Credilli can learn. But I basically ate crow and learned that these grass types, they might not have been my favorite, but I was wrong to be putting them down because there are some badass things you can do with them.
Oh, I bet. Nowadays, there's a lot of grass types come out that have rounded out the usage, I guess you could say, right?
So, okay, that was the thing that I wanted to say about Gen 6 that I forgot.
All right.
And I struggled to get a Lilith, or not a Lilith, Ludicolo's previous.
Lombre?
Lombre. I struggled to get a specific Lombre in black and white that appeared someplace with the hidden ability so that I could have a Ludicolo with the hidden ability and traded it forward. That is why I have such a strong mental association with Ludicolo and Gen 5.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
But, okay. So yeah, that's my Gen 6.
Cool. So, Gen 7 time?
We're on to Gen 7.
I've never completed a playthrough of Gen 7.
This is my least familiar, probably, for me.
I never played through the series, but there are a lot of Pokemon that are familiar to me. I think one of the most notable mentions, and this was just because of my trade lock playthrough of Sword and Shield, is Oranguru.
Oh, Oranguru.
Interesting.
I like the monkey.
Oranguru, she was a fighter in my trade lock, and may she rip in pieces, but and then the most notable Pokemon, just because everyone thinks because I'm a red panda, and everyone thinks I'm all cuddly and all that kind of shit, is the Beware.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Beware.
Although I will say, I think one of my least favorites, and I think it's just because of the stance, is Salazzle.
Okay.
I mean, if you just look at Salazzle, she's just like, look at me in my glory. And she's like spreading her legs out, just like, and that pose, like, look at me, I'm fabulous.
Now, Salazzle mechanically has some very interesting features that I feel like they put on a Pokemon that couldn't fully utilize them. Salazzle's ability, and I'm going to get the name wrong, but I believe it's Corrosive Poison. Salazzle is so poisonous. How poisonous is it? It can poison other poison types, and it can poison steel types.
Yeah. I remember the Salazzle's probably my favorite one because of that. I used it in Gen 8 a bit.
It had an ability that overrode an immunity, and that is something.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I thought was very neat about Salazzle.
Yeah, looking at it, the Gen 9s right now, Salazzle's probably my favorite because I have a thing for the lizard-like, dragon-like type Pokemon, and Salazzle's basically that, but with that sick-ass ability.
So, I think another problem that I had with Gen 7, and I
Did
think...
I say Gen 9?
I think
you did. You meant 7, we knew.
Oh, okay.
I think Jerry was with me on it. I remember it was Bree, Echo, and I think Jerry was with us when we did an expedition in Gen 8, like one of those cavern expeditions where you go against the legendary and have a chance to catch it shiny.
Yep.
We came across Xurkitree.
Xurkitree. The bundle of wires.
And I looked at him, I'm like, are we like at a fucking like Radio Shack? What the fuck are we fighting?
I complain about
it was hilarious.
The Ultra Beasts, man. I didn't like them. They look like Digimon, man.
Some Ultra Beasts are okay, but like I'm not fighting Pokemon and going through this fucking cavern to go up against an extension cord. Like, try again.
So I'm gonna devil's advocate this hard, but so the whole point of the Ultra Beasts was that they were weird and like out of place in Pokemon. Like, you already got the standard of anything can exist, and then these are extra dimensional from a different universe that are even weirder still. And coming from that perspective, I am more accepting of Xurkitree. But I agree that it's weird as hell.
There are some cool ones, like Necrozma looks sick. That Naganadel.
Yeah.
And then I love the name Stackataka. It's so stupid.
Stackataka.
But then you come across Blacephalon. I'm like... Blacephalon, yeah. And I'm like, we're fighting a fucking disco ball with legs. Like...
Ice Beam.
We're fighting a goddamn disco ball with legs. No, I'm not having this shit.
If I wanted a disco squid, I'd play Splatoon.
Exactly.
Oh man. And then Guzzlord's like a demon version of Snorlax. That's what it reminds me of.
Now Guzzlord is cool. Guzzlord looks cool.
Which is interesting.
See, I don't see dragon in that though.
It looks more like a dark...
I see beast, but not dragon.
Yeah.
And then you have Kartana. He looks like a fucking origami piece.
Grass Steel's an interesting type. Oh man, but yeah, I didn't care too much for the Ultra Beasts. And that Melmetal shit too was weird. It's like a different type of Reggie, but like just like liquidy metal.
And that one is, yes, it's technically Gen 7 because it was released before Gen 8 was, but it had no compatibility with Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, or Ultra Moon. That is a very weird thing.
We got Zeraora, which was pretty alright for like a Lucario clone thing.
Zeraora is so cool though. But I think that's the furry in me talking.
I got my first Zeraora in Sword and Shield as part of their gift thing.
The shiny one.
Yeah, and it is such a beast for raids. It's so good for raids.
I wish the dragon fighting type Komo-o or whatever the fuck was better.
Yes.
He was cool
I also
as
noticed
fuck.
the name Poiple.
Poiple.
His name is Poiple.
Yep. And he is.
Hey, he's Poiple. Becomes a pretty close dragon. Another dragon poison, or poison dragon rather.
Yeah.
What about the regular box legendaries? Lunala, Solgaleo.
Lunala was cooler.
It was interesting the way they implemented them, that they evolved from a common Pokemon.
Right, the Cosmog.
Yes. And it sounds like it's confirmed basically that the Gen 9 legendary is going to be the same way.
Right.
There is a common ancestor motorcycle lizard that is not a legendary, that is the preferred method of travel around the Gen 9 region.
It's a fucking workhorse. Yeah, I think Lunala's the better one out of those, for sure. Yeah, I like the ghost typing more, but Solgaleo looks sick.
One of the things that I have to give Gen 7 credit for, because I'm so appreciative of it, is they started filling some type gaps. Things that had never had a Pokemon representing a type. Like, for example, Salazzle, there was no fire poison before that.
Drampa, normal dragon.
A normal dragon, a normal psychic, a normal fighting. I mean, I guess Mega Lopunny was a normal fighting, but that's Mega Evolution only.
Yeah.
But one of the others that I'm super appreciative of, and I'm going to launch this into, this is my favorite Pokemon of Gen 7, because this type had one representative in Gen 3, and then had no representation whatsoever, and its representative was absolute garbage, and that representative was Surskit. But I've got to back my boy Araquanid, the bug water type. Oh my god.
Oh my god, and when Bree got that Araquanid shiny...
I don't want to talk about that.
Didn't she get multiple of those?
She did, in the same day.
Wow.
And I spent 6 months hatching eggs trying to get a shiny. There she is. That's what happened.
And she rubbed it into his face so fucking hard.
Oh, she did.
That's funny. Oh,
but yeah, no, I did finally get a shiny Araquanid in my Gen 7 playthrough I'm doing, which I have not completed. It is still on my Gen 7 game. It still exists, and someday I will finish it. But yeah, I spent 6 months hatching Dewpider eggs, and I have not gotten a shiny. I have gotten dozens of perfects. I have gotten dozens of Trick Room perfects. I have gotten dozens of any type combination you could probably think of stats. But I have not gotten a shiny Dewpider in Gen 8 yet. I considered actually sitting here riding the bike back and forth while we were chatting.
Man, what about the starters, though? We gotta talk about the starters this week. Where would we rank them? Because they really did a pretty cool thing with the typings at the end.
You know,
they did.
Incineroar still insinuates that he's a fighting type, and I hate it.
Yeah.
But Litten and Torracat were cool, but then you go to Incineroar and you're just like, what you gotta do, brother? And he just like rips off his shirt.
Yes. The thing with Incineroar, and it's the one reason I can get behind the dark typing, is because yes, as a fighter, as a wrestler, you would think fighter, but they have stated that he is playing the role of a heel. And I don't know, people that aren't as accustomed to wrestling.
That's when you turn heel.
Well, heels are the antagonists. Mm-hmm. Like, whether you like a wrestler or not, they play a perceived role as either a good guy or a bad guy. And I don't remember what the good guys are called right off. But I remember that the bad guys are referred to as heels. And the heels are intentionally the one you want to hate. And that is why he's dark. Because he's a heel.
Yeah. And I heard that Decidueye is grass ghost because of a extinct type of owl in Hawaii.
Oh, interesting. I had not heard that.
Yeah, there's an owl used to live in Hawaii and it went extinct, and they made this one a ghost type because of that, I believe.
Owl have to remember that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And now that I made a pun about it, I will.
And then Primarina is a water fairy, which is cool, but it was a beautiful Pokemon. Very beautiful.
And everyone hated Poplio so much, and I think I was the only one in my group, and I'm like, I'm taking Poplio.
I love Seals too. I was going with him if I did get the game, but I never did. But as time went on, I see the value more in Decidueye.
Yeah, and honestly, if I was going to rank them, it would probably be Decidueye, Incineroar, Primarina. But I don't know. For some reason, the mermaid dog was weird. I don't know exactly what it was about that, but like, I can imagine a mermaid, and I know that there's a common thought that dolphins evolved from dog-like creatures. So there is a common link between part fish, part dog. Like, I get it. But for some reason, that just doesn't work for me. I think the water typing with the fairy typing is awesome. I think some of its moveset's great, but as a creature, I don't like it.
Funny, because they put two of my top 5 animal list, owls and seals. They're both in this fucking...
It makes me sad that Decidueye lost its flying type, but Ghost is definitely interesting for a starter.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, my ratings go for, like, in the past it was probably Popplio first, but I'm going to give it to Rowlet first because the ghost typing at the end, and Decidueye is just a very good, final evolution to go with. And then I think I like Popplio second best, and then Incineroar last. Part of that has to do with Super Smash Bros. And how fucking awful his recovery is. Hate using him in there. But,
so I'd have to go Poplio, Rowlet, Litten.
See, and the other thing that it wasn't really a thing for me until much later on after it was pointed out to me, but Litten and Torracat being quadrupeds and Incineroar being a biped.
He really wants Sprigatito to stay on all fours.
I really do.
Would have been cool to have like an Entei type, but it's on 4 legs, but like beastly ass cat,
Yeah, but if we're gonna get the stoner hippie chick cat girl, Because that's what I see him doing.
It's gonna turn into
making a chill as fuck cat girl. That's what it's gonna be.
Okay.
And they're gonna sexualize the shit out of it, and it's not gonna be cool tiger Pokemon.
So, worst scenario for you, Jerry, is it's gonna go grass. It's gonna stay grass. It's gonna stay on all fours. But then when it evolves into its final form, it's gonna be a firefighting biped.
God damn it. Well, and and I know that, this isn't the Truman Show and there's not, a whole bunch of people looking out for my personal opinion on things, but I feel in my heart that I want to be excited for Gen 9. I am very worried about that because I think Sprigatito looks awesome and I think it has potential. But as I've said,
They're gonna fuck it up.
this is my generation to fall out of love with Pokemon. If I follow the pattern, it's like every other. And I'm about to fall out of love with Pokemon. And if I do, it's because they fucked up Sprigatito.
Nothing else. The game can just really fucking suck. As long as Sprigatito stays on all fours and is a really fucking cool cat, the game could suck complete nuts and he'd still be happy.
Probably. I mean, we're going to have 4-player multiplayer all at once, so you guys can gripe about it to me in chat, but as long as my Sprigatito can run around with me and not on 2 feet.
What about the Alolan forms? We forgot about those.
Those were neat. Again, it was another way to kind of introduce some things that didn't have representation. Sandshrew and Sandslash got the Ice Steel combo, which most things when paired with Steel get way better. Sadly, Ice Steel is quadruple weak to fire and quadruple weak to fighting.
Yeah.
So it made it less useful, but I like Vulpix because the Fox Pokemons are kind of cool. Having the Ice Fairy Ninetales was neat. The fact that it's quadruple weak to Steel is not.
My favorite is Marowak.
Alolan Marowak is very cool.
Fire Ghost.
Alolan Marowak was very cool. However, on the not cool perspective, is giving Geodude, Graveler, Golem, Diglett, and Dugtrio all hair.
I think it looked funny on Golem, but the Dugtrio I just avoided. I was like, this is dumb.
I just Dugtrio just pops up, be like, bruh, you wanna go surfing?
Yes.
Well, Raichu does now.
Well, and if you look at the Pokedex entries for Diglett and Dugtrio, it says that their hair is actually a special steel filament that is harder than stone that helps them dig through the rocky region.
Like magnet attracting steel shavings to be like that.
Well, that would be your Geodude family. Because if you look at it, all of the Geodudes with the electric type, they've all got black stuff on them. They're all woolly willies. They've just got ferrite fragments all over them.
I do like the Muk design. He looks really cool and shiny.
Yes.
Grimer and Muk were really cool.
The Dark Poison is a good combo. It was not a new, unique one, but it was definitely one that had some underrepresentation.
The fucking Exeggutor is so dumb.
Exeggutor, that was another case that they needed to go back to the creative office and say, let's just put this one away and do it again.
I mean, he has Grass Dragon type, which is also what Sceptile has as Omega, but this is just what it is, which is cool.
This is the 50-50 of it. Alolan Exeggutor is dumb as hell, but Grass Dragon is a fantastic type. And it was, other than the Mega, the first representative of the Grass Dragon family.
Yep, that's why I use the Mega Sceptile every so often on my team to switch out, because it's so good. Yeah,
that is why I use Flapple.
I think half and half Alolan forms I like and I don't like.
Agreed.
Half and half.
I think it's weird that there are some that start out normal and then just have a special evolution. Like, if there's going to be an Alolan Raichu, there should be an Alolan Pikachu.
Right.
There's going to be an Alolan Marowak, there should be an Alolan Cubone.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked to see a Alolan Cubone, like a fire type or a ghost type, whatever.
And see, they
and
did
then
it
become the
right
fire
with
ghost.
Geodude. They did it with Rattata. They did it
Right.
with Meowth. Like, there was a lot of them they did it right with.
So what you're saying is, Meowth. That's right.
Yeah? You know what? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All
I
right.
had to. I saw it. Set it up, knock it down.
All right, Gen 8 time.
Now let's
Get
move
into
on
the
to Gen 8, and then after Gen 8, we will do our last raffle, and then probably a wrap up for the night.
And we can do
Gen
closing
8.
thoughts on Gen 9 for like 5 minutes or something, our hopes or stuff.
Sure.
We can do that.
Okay.
I hope Sprigatito stays on 4 legs. No. It'll be better than that. But Gen 8. Gen 8 after Gen 7. I kind of fell out of it with Gen 7, and then I had my fancy new Switch. And then they made a Pokemon game for the Switch, and it was the first main generation Pokemon game that I could sit on the couch and stare at the TV, not a handheld system to play. And I loved it.
That was really
Loved it. And I played so much Gen 8, which we talked about very early on, but oh, Gen 8. And they had some neat new things they added with the Galarians. I've seen Horatio's mentioned Obstagoon. Obstagoon is neat.
Yeah.
That normal dark combo. It was nice. It got some more representation after Rattata and Raticate in Alola. I know it's slightly off topic, but in Pokemon Go, that type is so broken. Like, so broken. Anyway, because their types work a little bit differently there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing has a pure immunity. So, yeah. But, so yeah, normal dark getting some more love. Electric Dark getting the love with Morpeko. I wish that there would have been a stronger Pokemon than Morpeko with that Electric Dark.
Yeah.
Because it is the Pikachu clone for the generation, and as such, it's there for looks, not for combat, really.
Just look cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorites from this, though?
From Gen 8?
Yeah.
So I think
You know,
I'll
Go ahead.
start this one off. And it's literally just because it pissed one of my viewers off so much that they had to spend like almost all their channel points just to get rid of him. And that's fucking Poltegeist.
Poltegeist?
He hated puns so much. And when I got it, I just busted out laughing. I'm like, Poltegeist! And he spent like, oh god, like 50 grand in channel points to make me add a rule to where I could not have a Poltegeist, and I had to get rid of him.
oh my god.
Damn. Oof. That's
Oh,
funny.
sure. I don't know why I mental blocked this, but I chose to play Shield over Sword specifically because Galarian, Ponyta, and Rapidash were version exclusives to Shield.
I chose Shield as well.
Now, I would future come to regret that decision because Zacian is the reason to play through that game, and you get Zamazenta in Shield.
Yeah.
But because Zacian is just unnecessary. But Galarian Ponyta being a psychic type, and then before Yes, Bree, you hatched a perfect shiny Ponyta. I know. You didn't know it was perfect until I pointed it out. You were just excited to have a shiny. But no, the Ponyta and Rapidash were one of the things they did the like slow leak thing for Gen 8, and Galarian Ponyta got revealed. They were doing a quote unquote live feed of the forest. I'm blanking on the name of the forest. But they did a quote unquote live feed, and it was literally just this like multi-hour long video that they did that a Galarian Ponyta like came into scene at one point. So people were just basically waiting for the reveal that they knew something was going to happen, and then it was just this little My Little Pony thing. And I'm not a brony. I'm not into all of that. I've seen like 2 episodes of that. I don't care that it looks like a My Little Pony. I like the concept of Ponyta and Rapidash in Galar. Ponyta being a psychic type, I crossed my fingers so hard that before they announced Rapidash, I said, please be a psychic fairy. Please be a psychic fairy. And then it was. And I was so excited. I was like, sweet, this one's on my team. Like, I played Shield specifically to get my pony to put on my team. And I loved it all the way to the point that I discovered that not only was Galarian Rapidash in this game, but Hatterene was in this game. And Hatterene is a brand new Gen 8 Pokemon that is a psychic fairy and just does everything better than Rapidash.
Oh,
damn.
Because Psychic and Fairy are both special attack dominant types, and Hatterene is the special attacking Psychic Fairy. Galarian Rapidash is the physical attacking Psychic Fairy. So you have to use the off-brand Psychic attacks and the off-brand Fairy attacks. And so it loses something in that, but I still like what they did with Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash. And yes, off-brand. You can't use Psychic. You can't use Moonbeam. You have to use Zen Headbutt and play rough. But the shiny form of Galarian Rapidash is also ridiculously cool. I mean, it's just like blues and yellows, like the purple switches out in the coloration, but a really obscure reference, and it's one of my wife's favorite movies, The Last Unicorn. Old animated movie from like the 80s. And I swear up and down, and she disagrees with me of all things, but shiny Galarian Rapidash looks like The Last Unicorn.
Interesting. That's cool.
Like if you put them side by side, you'd be like, yeah, I see that.
That's cool.
But so I always thought that was kind of cool. And you know, that in the Pokedex they always give the Pokemon like a little nickname type of Pokemon. In the Pokedex for Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash, they are known as the Unique Horn Pokemon.
Unique horn, huh?
Not unicorn, unique horn.
Well, there you go. That works. Nice pun.
Yes, great pun. But so there's my rant about Ponyta.
I have a few favorites.
okay.
Despite me not liking this gen very much. Toxtricity. Sick
Good
ass
combo.
electric poison with the 2 different kinds in terms of how they look. Grimmsnarl I really like, the dark fairy. And he just was a badass looking like goblin. What Who else was there in here that I liked? Dragapulse. Big dragon fan, and the ghost typing is sick. Gotta love that. And in terms of like the Galarian forms, I was surprised to see they added some for Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. That blew my mind.
See, and as a lifelong Articuno fan, I am not impressed by Galarian Articuno.
Yeah, you're sad. You wanted it to be Psychic Ice, right?
Yeah, it's a psychic flying, but really with the theme they put around it, it should be the dark type, not Moltres. It should be the dark flying. It's the cruel, menacing bird. But, with the paralyzing glare that is a psychic paralysis now. That should have been a dark glare,
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know what they would have done with Moltres, though. Moltres turned out badass. The dark flying firebird, really sweet.
And its shiny just looks like how it does normally.
The shinies are amazing for those.
They're just the regular colors, right? How they're supposed to look.
Yep. And
Galarian...
Galarian...
I wasn't impressed with Zapdos, so, like...
He's good.
I was about to say that Galarian Zapdos is the best of all of the Galar legendary birds.
No. He's my favorite bird in the first gen and in this one because fuck.
He became a fucking roadrunner.
He's fast as fuck, boy.
I should love
kick through your skull.
I mean, I should love it because I'm from New Mexico, so Roadrunners was like the bird, the state bird.
Okay, so from the competitive / calculated mechanical perspective,
don't you watch me?
Galarian Articuno and Galarian Moltres, a psychic flying and a dark flying. They have psychic moves and flying moves and dark moves and flying moves. They have an awful move pool. It is absolute rubbish. There is no competitive stance to be taken with those Pokemon, even with their special signature moves. They're just not good to actually have on your team. They can look cool all day. I'm not going to fight you on that. But they're not good to have with you. Galarian Zapdos gets its signature fighting attack. Fighting is fantastic. And it either does a defense drop or paralysis. I think it's a defense drop when you hit with it. But it's just good. It's so good. It gets Drill Peck, just like regular Zapdos, which is amazing for a flying move. So you've got your fighting and flying. And it learns, I think it's high horsepower. It learns a really good ground move. And then it also learns... I don't know. I'd actually have to pull mine up. It has this amazing move coverage move pool. Statistically, it's not a glass cannon. It's got good speed. It's got good defense. It can use its attack stat. And it's got moves that can support it. And it is just so well-rounded.
And
the other two are just sort of there.
I like the Galarian forms more than the Alolan, I think. Better
Add again.
You know what? Good, Bree.
You gotta.
She can't hear you.
You gotta love Bong wheezing though.
You mean Dapper wheezing?
Bong wheeze
with his top hat.
It's
He's
Wheeze
like a
Wheezadome, owner of the Wheezdale's Wizardome.
He is probably my favorite in terms of just how stupid he is and looks. I love it. Like, kind of like the Executor, how I just love how stupid it is too, but like this one takes it to another level, another tall thing to be added,
but this one was cool.
And the lore behind it is much cooler.
Oh yeah, it helps protect the air.
Yep. That instead of just letting out toxic gases, it's actually working to purify gases and it's emitting clean air.
It's a poison fairy too, which was sick.
Yeah. Fun type
Also-
combo.
Also, Darmanitan was able to make that form where it becomes Ice Fire, which I was like, whoa.
And and I wish that it wasn't so difficult that there was just a basic way to start out like that.
Bitch, welcome back.
Oh man. What about you, Winter?
You made
Do
me
you have
pull
any
out the
favorites?
switch here. I gotta ramble more about my boy Zapdos. Where are you?
Yeah, Winter, what are your favorites in this?
So, like in terms of like just all the Galarian forms, or just overall?
Well, yeah, we're talking about Galarian now, but like you can talk about the old forms too, or whatever.
Oh, Galarian forms. So
Stomping Tantrum and Blaze Kick.
oh, here we
Biting,
go.
Flying, Ground, and Fire. That's the coverage you get with the Galarian Zapdos. Sorry, go ahead.
Like Farfetch'd. I think Farfetch'd was a cool change.
He got a good upgrade.
And then just turning into Surfetch'd, like, come on.
Surfetch'd is
Weird way to
Apple Boy.
evolve.
But
I was
Painful way to
hyped
evolve.
when I found out he was getting an evolution.
Yes.
going back to just like OG Pokemon favorites, though, I gotta say Choodle was another one of my favorites.
What a
And
dopey boy.
the only reason why I loved him so much was because he reminded me of that fucking turtle off of Rocco's Modern Life.
There it is.
And so I forgot his name, but I named him Norbert. Like,
Damn.
Filbert, I believe, was his name.
Filbert was his name.
I forgot
Hey, Filbert.
there's a literal cum blob as a fucking Pokemon in this. It's Milcery.
Oh yeah, when Carrot was talking about his Pokemon, he always loved Milcery and Alcremie just because he could eat them up.
Oh man, that's funny.
Now I will say that Phalanx was a really cool concept.
Yes.
Like, I loved the design behind Phalanx. And then just because
His signature move is interesting too.
I'm looking at Cerebi, like all of
Yeah.
the Pokemon that came from Legends Arceus is showing up as Gen 8.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's
So
Because they were technically released during the 8th generation of Pokemon.
So, following that standpoint and following the aspect, my absolute favorite Pokemon that released is in fact Sneasler.
I saw that coming right now. I saw it. That was a really cool form.
And it's a fighting poison type.
Have you played Arceus?
Me, yeah. I never
You've-
finished.
It's
I never finished either.
But I can't
I think
get rid of my game because my Sneasler is shiny.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
Dang.
They also had the Hisui and Arcanine and fucking Typhlosion and the starters there.
Yeah.
A lot of good shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the forums. Oh, what was that zone called? What was that region called?
Hisui?
Yeah.
Hisuian form.
The Hisui region.
Yeah, their Hisuian forms were pretty good.
Zorora and Zoroark. I never actually got them in my playthrough. I never got that far. I actually need to keep playing and get one on my team. But normal Ghost. It is the first and only Pokemon family to have that type.
It's really
Normal Ghost is a scary type.
How is it scary? Like, explain to us.
Because normal is immune to Ghost. Ghost is super effective to Ghost. Well, now you've lost a weakness.
Oh.
Normal is weak to fighting. Ghost is immune to fighting. You have lost another weakness. Like, it's weird, but that type combination is so good. And there are so many normal moves that you now get stab on that just make that huge utility. I would love to see more normal ghosts appear in Gen 9. Like, that is a type I just want to use. My 2 dream types are normal ghost and fire grass.
Normal ghost and fire grass. Interesting.
Yeah, the Hisuian forms that I like the most. Oh man. Who is the coolest one to me? I think it'd probably be Typhlosion, to be honest. Love that fire ghost. He looks super chill too.
Did y'all see the? Did y'all see the meme that people had made behind Voltorb? So there was an episode of SpongeBob when he would like go to like the supermarket and he would always talk with the cashier, and he had a picture of like the cashier when he was like super young. He's like, I remember when you were so bright and spunky, and now look at you. And it was like a picture of the old Voltorb from Hisui. And then it goes to, like, it looks like the regular Voltorb. He's like, just look at you now.
Grass Electric is another underrepresented type that is super cool, though.
Yeah, I actually just went against that fucker as a totem Pokemon or whatever he was.
And since Voltorb and Electro didn't get a steel typing like Magnemite did when Gen 2 came out, it's nice that they got something, you know?
Yeah, but the question is, are we ever going to see, because Hisui is supposed to take like place like back when people first started interacting with Pokemon, are we ever really going to see these forms ever in a current generation?
Okay, so I do have a couple thoughts on that, and it breaks into hopes and dreams for 9. But we have, in almost every generation, had Pokemon that existed in the past and didn't exist anymore, and now they do.
Because of
we
fossils.
have had fossils.
Yep.
Yes. Pokemon Home can take Arceus Pokemon. As of current, you cannot move them into other games, which is fine. It can be a storage place for Pokemon. It doesn't mean everything has to be interchangeable. My hope is that there is some mechanic that they add to Gen 9, which is like a fossil reconstruction thing, where you can migrate those Arceus Pokemon into Gen 9.
That'd be really cool.
We'll have to see. I would love to see.
I know. That. Yeah, like it's a pipe dream for sure. Like there's been nothing to suggest that could happen, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. What about we can round off Gen 8 by talking about our rankings for the Gen 8 starters, and maybe also the starters for Hisui, since they're different and they're also Gen 8.
All right. So I'll start. Score Bunny number 1 because Cinderace does go on the dream team.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sabo for number 2 and then Grookey for number 3 because it's another fucking monkey. We don't need more monkeys.
Bruh, monkeys all day.
Don't you bruh me. Anyways, yeah.
And what about your Hisui?
Rowlet. Oh, this is tough. I would want to go Rowlet, Cyndaquil, Oshawott. But they're all like, all 3 of the starters were really super fucking good. So it's hard for me to determine who gets what plays.
Because they had the different final stages.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know Rowlet ended up grass fighting because that's what I chose. But what was Typhlosion? Was that Fire Ghost?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was Samurott?
He was Water Dark.
See, I don't like that. Okay. All right, well, at least I know what my order is now.
Okay, well, it's your turn.
Okay, so I have to go with Score Bunny for number 1 for the same reason that Trouser went for Froakie for number 1 in Gen 6. Because much like how Froakie had Protean, Score Bunny has Libero. And it's the exact same ability. It's just a different name because it's different reasoning why they can do it. But yeah, the type changing on an extra fast, extra strong Pokemon is just so good. I always thought Sobble was dumb. I always thought Sobble was dumb. Sobble was dumb as hell. And to that end, Grookey was dumb as hell.
Oh my god.
Aww.
However, in battles that I have done with people, if I had to rank one over the other, that damn monkey is so much more of a hassle to fight, so he is the better of the two. So I'm gonna have to say Sobble, or Score Bunny, Grookey, Sobble.
Wow, we're all different here. For me, it's Grookey, Sobble, Score Bunny for that.
Oh, you put Score Bunny on the bottom?
Yeah, I don't care much for bunnies. Monkey, lizard, I had place over bunnies.
You know, I am glad though that with the whole bunny thing, like they didn't sexualize it.
They made it badass.
Like they didn't law bunny it, you know?
Right.
Because
All right, what about your? Oh wait, keep going.
good.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna rant about people sexualizing Pokemon. But no, it's fine.
So when are we gonna have you back for a Smash or Pass? I'm just kidding.
Oh geez.
Hey, I said I think it's annoying people sexualize Pokemon. I didn't say I couldn't.
Oh man. All right. Well, what about your Hisui starters?
It's gonna have to be Rowlet, Cyndaquil, Oshawott.
Okay. Very reasonable. For me, it is Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and then Piplup.
Piplup? Hold up. Wait a minute.
Oh wait.
Record scratch.
Oshawott, sorry.
Like, wait a minute.
Where did Diplo come from?
Somebody get Echo in here. He's got words.
He's like, if only he was a starter, motherfucker.
You must really hate Piplup.
Oh man, he was more up there on the what was it, the Gen 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my order for that.
Okay.
Oh man.
All right, so that does it for Gen 8, man.
All right.
So I guess we got one more raffle, guys.
Yep. Anyone trying to hop in here? Draco's the only one in my side at the moment. He's probably just gonna win automatically.
And I still have either Horatio or Bree to win a second Pokemon. So unless anybody is in my chat to type !raffle. Raggle.
Raggle.
Oh man.
It's not !raggle.
Fraggle Rock.
You're already entered, Horatio.
Sorry.
What the ball?
God damn it.
Alright. I'll go ahead and draw my last one. And we have good old Horatio winning a second one.
Nice.
GG's.
And Draco wins automatically for this.
Or Bree, she didn't get a second mon.
Oh yeah, Draco, if you want to know what mons are being given away, do we have somewhere where you can post the picture?
I mean,
because Draco doesn't have Twitter.
Jesus Christ. What about on your Discord? Is he on your Discord?
Yeah, let me actually do that.
I know, Bree. I'm sorry. Just the luck of the draw. All right.
Bree, if you want more shinies, we'll talk about it later.
Don't just give him to her.
I didn't say I'd give them to her. I said I'd talk to her about it. This means I get something out of it also.
All right, so I sent that to Draco to see what he wants out of that list of shinies. But yeah, we could talk about Gen 9 for a quick 5-10 minutes before we end off. It's our hopes and dreams for that.
I mean, I still really haven't seen a whole lot of. I still haven't seen a whole lot of like part of Gen 9. So, like I said, the only thing that I still have is that but the first 3 Pokemon. I'm super freaking hyped, and Trouz is with me on this train. And I'm super freaking hyped about Fuecoco.
Fuecoco supremacy.
Okay, so regarding Fuecoco, I do have some hopes, because one of the things that I had just said was that I desire a fire grass type.
You think that he'd really go fire grass?
He's a chili pepper.
I think he's gonna be fire.
He is a hot plant.
I hope he's fire ghost because ghost pepper. Sorry, yeah.
He's a hot plant. He needs to be my fire grass.
But that'd be so off for them to throw in another starter type in there.
I know it would, and there's no precedent for it. It's not a thing. The only time that starters get same type stuff is Cinderace and Greninja.
No, he wants fire grass, not fire ghost.
Yeah, I want a fire grass, and a walking chili pepper is both hot and plant, and that I think is the closest beacon of hope that there could be a fire grass of anything.
You know, they could make this really interesting. If Fuecoco goes fire grass, they should make it to where, like, they're going to follow the triage, yeah. So whatever they're strong against, they get that second typing. So Sprigatito would get water, and then the duck would get fire.
I'd rather it be the other way around, because weed fire grass.
I see, and I get that as well. However, that would work. We've had a grass water, so that could potentially work. But the only water fire that we've had is a legendary Volcanion. That one also needs some representation and love. And if they took 2 very unique types like fire grass and water fire and put them in the starters, that would blow my mind.
That'd be pretty cool. If they break conventions like that even harder than they already did that with open world, and like they're heading that direction to, like, new shit's about to be coming around that we never expected.
So Nintendo, and I'll just say this, like, right now, like, Nintendo is stepping out of, like, even with the past couple games, they're stepping out of their comfort zone. They're stepping really hard out of their comfort zone for all of these games, and it's working for them. So why not step further out of their boundaries and make something kind of different and unique in this?
Something else I had heard recently about Gen 9 was that initially Gen 9 was not guaranteed. That Gen 9 was something that they had come up with, and they weren't sure if they were going to do, if they were going to get the people that would back it. And they released Legends Arceus. And the entire point of releasing Legends Arceus is it's basically the beta of what they were looking to do with Gen 9.
That's how I see it.
And so, based on the reception they got for Arceus, they said, we're greenlighting it. Let's go forward and do Gen 9.
Because how that was such a positive fucking outcome.
Yes. And if there were so many new things, the open world aspect, the sneaking up on them in the wild aspect, just the encounters, utilizing them as tools to get around, like, this was all relatively new ground. And they weren't sure if it was going to be worth putting that out there, so they put it out in a side game that people loved. And they said, okay, this is the direction we're going. So yeah. I'm thinking that Gen 9 is going to be Legends Arceus 2.0.
Have a good night, Bree.
Good night, Bree. Yeah, like, I feel the same way about that being a beta, basically. And it seems like they are going to break more Pokemon conventions that we're used to and, like, add a bunch more new shit. Because they've already shown quite a bit. But there's more to be seen.
No.
And who knows when the next time they're going to show more stuff is, but yeah.
I liked the thought that Arceus was a beta. I can see that. I can see them using it as a beta. However, if they're going to bring like almost everything from that game to the new one, there is a couple changes that needs to be done.
Okay.
First off, the combat system sucked fucking nuts. I was not a fan of going into a battle and the opponent always got to go first. And there was always a chance that they got to go like 2 or 3 times before I had a chance to play. Which involved a lot of my Pokemon getting knocked out for no fucking reason.
Well, don't have slow Pokemon.
Yeah, the fast, or was it like, was it strong and agile style, basically?
Oh, yeah. Utilizing the style variations to enhance attack.
It was adding a layer, but it did get kind of annoying getting attacked twice in a row, sometimes 3, like you said.
Yeah, it's annoying. And it's not just because I have slow Pokemon.
I like that you can move around while the battle was happening to get different angles and shit.
I love the fact that you could get like between the Pokemon though and be like, "What you doing?" And he just gets smacked.
I still think you should have been able to walk behind the Pokemon and get the bonus to catching them by throwing a ball at their back, but you can't.
Yeah, my hope right now for Gen 9 is... I looked at the map. I saw there's some theories that there's a little part of the map that's been covered in clouds.
Oh.
And that they're saying that it, like, since the placement of this game is basically the region of Spain, that it's going to lead into the Kalos region, and we could have a whole switching of regions and go and visit back Gen 6 and maybe bring back Megas. Hopefully, I don't think that's even crazier far-fetched, I think, but because we already have a new fucking thing that crystallization.
Farfetch doesn't have a Mega Evolution.
Yeah, Terralization, that one.
Terrastalizing?
I didn't know what to think about it, honestly, but it's all right, I guess. I like the fact about the competitive aspect to it.
Yes.
For sure, more than the design aspect. Design is weird, but other than that, I do like how you could just switch your typing to something you're super weak against to just counter something. And you never know what terrestrial type anything's going to be. You just have to guess, too. Like, if you've never gone against somebody yet and they can choose from a certain pool of terrestrial types that are possible for that Pokemon. Like, that's crazy. That's going to add another layer of thinking of what to do.
I'm looking forward to having a bug terrestrial type Flygon.
Yeah, the terrestrial type...
Hashtag justice for Flygon.
I'm hoping that it does well for the competitive community, because it's been kind of lacking lately.
Well,
hasn't been as good as it should, I think.
We definitely will have to see.
Yeah, but that's about all I have to say on the matter.
The important thing is that Sprigatito needs to not be a cat girl.
Just a regular kitty on 4 legs.
It's definitely gonna be. It's gonna have that. It's gonna have that 73% chance to be a female, I think.
not four-legged cat Pokemon.
Oh,
A
no.
mommy kitty.
She's going biped. She's going firefighting. Gonna be spreading and showing everything to the world, just like Salazzle.
You know, it doesn't take a hard Google search if you want to look that stuff up. Just let me keep a cat with some decency for my starter.
Nope, Salazzle
I'm
style
even
Sprigatito.
I am willing to go grass here, guys. Like, consider what's coming out of my mouth. After all the rankings and me ripping on grass and all that, you know, I've learned from my mistakes. Sprigatito looks cool. Please don't disappoint, Game Freak.
The biggest
Please.
hope and dream that's most far-fetched of all is Jerry's right now.
Right? Well, there is a 50-50 chance. Unless they're gonna meet you halfway and you make her only 3 legs.
Oh God.
Oh god. Tri-pedal.
Or
Call her
or-
little brother.
Or
Okay.
better yet, just to kind of piss you off in just the wrong way, she does wind up getting grass water, and she becomes half cat, half mermaid, and it's still a biped.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
That would just be something else. Oh god.
Just to piss you off, but not in the way that you want to be pissed.
But dog mermaid didn't work. Don't do cat mermaid.
Oh man.
No.
That's just a catfish.
Okay, we have to delete this because we don't want Game Freak to get any ideas.
Done. This never happened, guys.
This is a great chat. I don't know what happened though. Okay, talk to you later.
Bleep this in post, Winter.
I never considered that, and now I'm terrified.
Winter, what have you done? Oh man,
The
you really...
worst thing that can happen to Sprigatito is not to be standing on 2 legs, but to be flopping with 2 legs. Because I will admit, the concept of it being grass water was not a negative until right now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it'll be a catfish!
Oh my god. It would be.
Oh my god.
Fucking. What a way to end the podcast on that.
Yikes. Oh, and Horatio has said repeatedly, and we missed out on it. Wooper as a poison type.
Oh,
The new Wooper regional is fantastic.
The
Oh, they are
Paladin-
getting. He is getting a new. He's getting a new thing. Oh.
Yeah, Paladin Whoopers now Pooper. They call him because he's ground.
He's poison ground. Yeah.
He looks brown. He's brown, so he's Pooper.
Oh,
Well,
poor Wooper.
because when you talk about Alolans, you talk about like Alolan Marowak. They refer to that as Awok. Or Alolan Ninetales as A-Tails. So, what's the name of the new region again?
Paldea.
Paldean Wooper would be P-Ooper. Pooper.
Yeah, Pooper as well with that. We've been talking about it, Draco. I think you missed out. Oh yeah, Draco said he wanted the shiny build.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to mention that earlier. We got talking about.
I thought
Gen
Horatio already claimed the Wooper or the Beldum.
Oh,
Wait, did he?
yes. Horatio did claim the Beldum.
Horatio
I'm sorry.
claimed Beldum already.
Well, that's unfortunate. There's some more on there for you though. Which ones have been claimed though?
The Lapras, the Marill, the Scyther, and the Beldum.
All right. Anything that
Yeah.
not those. Personally, I'd go for the Ghastly.
Of course you would.
Or maybe Porygon. He's pretty cool. He's like purple drink.
I will say a little bit of a slight against your boy Gengar. Gengar shiny sucks.
Oh, I am 100% with that. It does suck. It's just when the shiny mega.
Ghastly looks cool. Honor looks okay. Gengar you can barely tell.
Right.
Mega Gengar looks cool as hell.
Yup, he's
Oh.
the boy. But yeah, Draco, just let me know what you'd rather take, and then I'll let Jerry know.
Okay. Well, I do say that was a very fantastic podcast, Jerry. I do thank you so much for spending tonight with us to talk about Pokemon.
Not a problem.
Again, thank
I'm
you so very
glad
much.
you guys thought to invite me.
Oh yeah.
Again, thank you so very much for the generous donations of the Pokemon Shinies. I hope everybody who won some will enjoy them.
Oh yeah, he says Ghastly, by the way.
And name it after Drowse.
There it is, bam.
Okay.
Yeah, so who do we go out to raid tonight?
We have Echo.
Oh, he's still streaming, huh? Cool.
I don't know how long he's streaming for, but
You can go see what's going on in there.
he is doing some reset day vibes for Destiny, so unless you have somebody else.
Not really. We can go over to Echo and see what's up.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get mine set up.
Alright.
But you all have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Trows, for another wonderful month.
Of course. I can't wait for the next podcast.
Again, thank you so much, Jerry, for coming in here, hanging out with us, and all the generous donations of the shinies for everybody.
Not a problem. Next
What-
time you guys want to ramble on about Pokemon, let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, I know you guys have mentioned talking about side games. So maybe not for that one, because I don't know them as well.
It's okay. We might have somebody planned for the side ones, so.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Alright.
Alright.
Have a good night, friends. We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, bye,
Yep, yep.
everybody.